is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant, the Fall Golf Classic happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com. San Antonio Sports Center.
In the NFL, Kirk Cousins threw for 509 yards, 4 tutties, and an Oski in a comeback 36-30 overtime win as Atlanta moves to 3-2. Thursday on the Blitz, Stephen Jones dismissed Devontae Adams' trade rumors, citing salary cap issues, stating it would be a long putt to bring in the other number one. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, San Antonio. Welcome in. What a day, Rob. It is Friday.
We made it. Here we sit.
You got to get down on Friday.
I'm already gone. I'm with you in body, but not in spirit. I got a date with Leon Bridges later today.
Oh, yes.
Me and Nora Jones are going to sail away today.
Oh, yes.
Have some Tennessee whiskey with Chris Stapleton.
Like the Eagles. Rob's already gone.
I'm already gone.
That's right.
This will be my first ACL in a decade.
Good for you.
Yeah, I hope I'm physically up to the challenge.
It may have been I don't remember the last time I went to ACL, quite honestly. I used to go every year when I worked in Austin.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Houston and things got busy and it was very sporadic. Maybe twice I went. And plus I got kids.
Yeah, you got life.
I ain't taking kids to ACL.
Now
all I'll do is ruin my fun. How can I get high on drugs when there's kids?
I know.
But
when they're really the reason you need them.
Yeah. That's one of the great mysteries of life.
I'm not an empty nester in that I have one at home, but I am an empty nester. So
you're not responsible for him anymore. He's a grown-ass man.
Yeah.
24 now, right?
Yeah, turned 24 last night.
Did you guys go have a nice little dinner?
We did. We went to his one of his favorite spots is Chaparral up on Bandera. Sat with the fam, had some margs, had some wonderful enchiladas.
Lovely,
dude. You're gonna have to hit them. In your honor, they have a special that I always get, but I changed it because I'm now judging cheese enchiladas. And I wanted to. Might be worth the stop out there.
Did you get the meat sauce?
Of course. Okay. You got to get the chili meat.
Yeah.
And then what?
I don't think I would like cheese enchiladas if they didn't have meat on top.
I'm talking about this, and the morning crew. For those of you that have been Chaparral regulars, you know that when you sit down, they give you a bowl of what was essentially, I wouldn't call it a bowl of borracho beans. I would call it, for the longest time, it was more like a bowl of borracho bean soup. It was more about the broth and you got some beans. Well, it's been a couple of months since I've been to Chaparral. Have they changed their bean recipe? If anybody on the brigade, if anybody has been to Chaparral lately or knows anything about it,
or happens to be a bean expert,
I think they've changed their bean recipe.
You should have just asked.
There's a bit more tomatoey.
Oh, I don't need more tomatoes in my food.
I know you don't, and it's not bad,
okay.
but not what I expected. I'm just curious. Although everything is always spectacular out there, it's one of those destination fancy places where,
Oh, it's fancy.
Well, no, it's not fancy at all. But it's the kind of place where you'd expect mariachis and walking around. It's kind of a
I'll have to give it a try.
Patio. Yeah.
I'll have to give it a try.
Yeah. But anyway, celebrated fine birthday. He's 24. But what I was getting at is, now that I'm kind of like an empty nester, I can go out and party like this now.
That's right.
I have no concerns other than pets that I have to board. I could put my pets in just spread some dog food out on a fared midway highway motel.
Mm-hmm.
Not a dump. A fair to mid one. for less than it would be for me that it is for me to board my dogs.
Boarding animals is ridiculous.
And I get it. I understand it, but I also understand the math.
Yeah.
I need to open up a kennel.
Yeah, you should.
Because my gosh, I mean, $150 a night.
Yeah. It's certainly a Holiday Inn.
It feels like it, right? So if I just dumped a bag of food
on the floor of a Holiday Inn,
I'll be back. Do whatever you need. You guys, I'll leave the TV on. Leave some treats hidden underneath the pillows. I'm sure they never even miss me.
Do not use the mini bar.
Don't use the mini bar.
No
Lock
long distance calls.
No adult films. Lock up the adult films.
You can use the vibrating bed twice.
That's it.
The coin-operated bed.
And turn off National Geographic. You can't watch that too late.
Well, yeah, that is a bummer. But your dogs are wild-ass dogs. Otherwise, I'd say, I'd watch them. But they're wild creatures.
I would not inflict my... That's roughly 220, 250 pounds of dog that we'd be dealing with here.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah.
Do you board your dogs together?
No. Well, they're boarded together, but not together.
Okay.
Because they don't even live together. They don't spend any time together. One's in, one's out.
Oh, so they don't interact.
No, and it's not because they don't like each other. It's just that they're both so young that when they see each other, it turns into a tornado of dog wrestling. It's too much. I mean, they're jumping couches and
go get those dogs trained.
I agree, but see,
your life will be so much better.
Yeah, it would be.
I'm telling you, and you can.
But I only have one. Only one of those is really mine.
Yeah, but you say that, and you say you're an empty nester. You're still financing his life. You might as well pay to get both of them trained. Otherwise, if you get one trained and then the other one's still an idiot, the idiot tendencies will rub off on the smart one.
That's true.
So you might as well just two birds, one stone. You could probably get a discount. You send two dogs to the trainer at the same time, and I'm telling you now, your life will change. Your life will change.
Yeah, it's not bad now, but I agree. It probably would.
It's not bad. It could be better.
Yeah.
If you could sit, if the dog was acting a fool and you said sit, and he sat.
Oh, individually they do. It's
when they're talking about when they're wrestling.
I know. That's all when hell breaks loose. So we just kind of let that not happen.
Well, it's a lot of work.
Well, no, not really.
These dogs are too much work.
I'm always around a dog. It's just which dog.
Yeah. All right.
No, you're right. It needs to be done.
I'm just saying.
And
you got to get
anybody out there who knows. I'm willing to listen. No, it's just one of those things you just go, yeah, I need to do this, and you just carry on with life.
Yeah, and but the thing with dog training is you can take them to a place. It's like they go to college.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's like they come back 2 weeks later and they're well behaved.
But there's a cost benefit analysis to it. You go, well, I'm not that upset that they're not together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And the other part of that stuff I would be doing anyway, that walking the dogs, that's for my health too. I mean, I complain about it, but it's the best thing I could be doing.
You're right.
So, no, on the other side of that, it'd be nice to have them around and, both of them listen at the same time.
Yeah. Be able to sit out on the patio and the dogs just lay down next to you.
Yeah, that'd be a pleasant diversion.
I went to a 6-man middle school football game last night.
So, first of all, how were the things that matter? Concessions.
There were concessions. I didn't participate.
Oh, so nothing of value that you went by.
No, they had
nothing unique for that particular school.
No, they had like an $8 burger. As soon as I saw that,
burgers.
They did burgers. I guess it was like $8.
Well,
and I didn't see any smoke, which means that these burgers were cooked and wrapped. No, Bubba, I ain't paying $8 for that. I'll just take a bottle of water. That's what I bought, was a bottle of water.
What's the final score of this 6-man game?
I want to say it was 44-17, something like that. It was domination, 43. Now, to be fair, my nephew's team, they hit the 2-minute warning, and obviously this is a blowout game. The 2-minute warning hits, and
your nephew was on a team coming in from Austin.
Yes.
Okay.
And my nephew is, I'm sure everybody thinks this, but my nephew's by far the best kid on the field here. Like, he doesn't really, it's almost not, he scored 4 touchdowns last night. Opening kickoff of the game, he took back for a touchdown. And he ends up scoring 4 touchdowns. His great strength is he just doesn't get tired. He's a soccer player, and he is extremely hyperactive.
Is he as big as you?
as big as me.
I mean, is he like over 6 feet, or is he?
No, he's 5'10" probably, but he's in 8th grade. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, he's like
5'10", 8th grader.
He's like my kids. He's
a big boy,
big for their
bigger,
ages. But he's faster than my kids, and
he's taller than your average soccer player.
Yeah, and he was just rolling these kids, and when the game was almost over, the 2-minute warning, the coach was complaining about the opposite coach was complaining about a spot. He wanted a first down, even though his kid was like a yard short, and he called a timeout. And it's like, dude.
Well, you're always teaching. At that grade, I think you coach till the end of the game. Because
okay,
these
well,
kids
good.
are still learning.
Because my nephew's team threw a touchdown pass as time expired. It's like a 40-yard touchdown pass.
As long as you didn't throw it into the end zone, it could have. Well, you shouldn't have thrown the ball.
Well,
I'll go. What was that? But again,
I wouldn't have thrown it.
You called the timeout.
You call timeout. You get what you get, Bubba.
But the calling of a pass was a little bit. But let's go one step further. What did you think of the local fans?
There were more fans from my nephew's school
because
that had traveled.
That team's good. They expected to win.
Yeah. So my nephew's team's undefeated. I guess. So in middle school, there's no state tournament, so they'll do the district tournament at the end, and they're already in, and like they've got their schedule because they haven't lost yet, so they know where they're going to be playing and all that, and everybody else is trying to fight to get in. But I
remember in the days when you'd travel or when you'd have a home game, local game, and the road team shows up and the whole other side was full, you're like, this team must be good.
Well,
you ain't driving 2 hours to watch a loss.
Now, the whole other side is the other issue. We didn't sit on the visiting side. We sat on the home side because it was shaded.
So how were the home fans? Were they
quiet
and kind?
Yeah,
not
quiet.
Loud and obnoxious?
Well, they were feeling the same frustrations that we were because it was the ref show.
Oh,
there was a lot of flags, and it's
over
officious. It's middle school football.
Yeah, it's my day in the sun.
Yeah.
I'm a referee, and I know the rule book.
Let's let it go a little.
I'm going to inflict the rules on this game.
Oh yeah, but yeah, it was it was what
I'm
it
glad
was
you got
fun.
a chance. A little bit of that's Americana, man. Sitting out watching a little bit of football, have a cold drink at the sunset.
What a fancy pants place that is.
Oh, it is yeah.
So there's
like royalty that lives up there. There's like international types that. Well, it's a boarding school.
The two closest parking spots, like the two closest reserved parking spots to the buildings, reserved for the Thompson family.
Not this Thompson.
And in one of them was a Hellcat. So I thought that must have been you.
No.
Okay. All right. Well. Some other Thompson
that
with a
sounds,
Hellcat.
Being a product of, I didn't go to private school, obviously, but having sent the kids through those parking spots, that was purchased at a silent auction.
Okay,
that was a well-earned buy.
Well, good for them.
I would figure at that school, those two spots probably cost $10,000.
Yeah,
that's my guess.
Well, good for them.
Yeah.
That school has.
If you have it and you park a Hellcat there, then it's worth it.
Right. Apparently, as I was walking in. This was the other obnoxious thing. They must play 6-man football for their middle school kids because this is like an all grades campus, from what I understand.
Yeah, it is.
So, but their football field is an 11-man football field.
Is there a difference?
Yeah. So
I didn't know.
A 6-man football field's 80 yards and it's thinner. So,
makes sense.
But they had like cones marked off instead of the field being the normal size. So, like at my nephew's games. At their home games,
they have a regular.
It's a regulation.
They know they're
going
to always be a 6-man field.
Yeah. So this one, they must play 6-man until they get to high school and then bump up. Which
I
seems kind of wild.
I know that TM. We'll go ahead and talk about this. TMI. TMI. I know that Monty Williams' son, the 5-star baller, just transferred to TMI. So I know that they have high-end basketball. I think they have football.
I would guess so, but I'm just saying it's weird that they would have 6-man in middle school and then go up to 11-man.
Yeah, probably.
Because then your kids don't know how to play football.
That's the problem with a lot of
rule
schools.
Set. Yeah.
So,
but they really nice facility. Like I said, their baseball field. I walked by it, and it's nicer than most of the fields my son plays on in Vegas. Like it was very well kept, and it's not a big campus. They've got a swimming pool, like an indoor swimming facility.
Yes.
And an indoor rifle range, apparently.
Well, it's the military part of that, but yeah, it's a very expensive, exclusive school.
Now, help me understand this. TMI is Texas Military Institute, right, or something along that?
I believe that's
But it's also TMI Episcopal. So, is it a church-funded military academy?
I would not say funded. I think affiliated would be the best term.
That's weird, isn't it?
No.
Okay, that's normal.
In most military schools
not
military, most of your private schools. Now, when you say military, it's more about the discipline and the pomp and the circumstance. They're not doing maneuvers. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
They're learning to orient. And
there were kids wearing uniforms, soldier uniforms.
Yeah, but that's like ROTC.
Okay.
Just think of it as ROTC for 8th graders. You know, it's a discipline thing. They're not learning to attack a hill. You know what I mean? They're learning how to shine their shoes and be disciplined and read a map and do the basic ROTC
because
stuff.
Me being a public school guy, like my understanding was there's two kinds of private schools. There's the religious affiliated private school, and then there would be like a military academy private school. And this feels like sort of a melding.
It is. Which I would say, but when you look at the district that they're in, see, in Texas, there's the UIL, obviously.
And there's TAPS, right?
And then there's TAPS, but then there's a third that deals with, well, there's actually a fourth. There's a third that deals with your TMIs, your St. Andrews. There's probably 6 or 8 of these really exclusive private schools throughout the state that have been around for a minute that probably have boarding and have polo teams, that kind of stuff. And that's the thing that TMI is in.
Gotcha.
So they're in a district. They're an affiliation like UIL, but it's separate.
All right. Well, hey, very nice place.
A lovely place. Good student. My gosh, very good school.
Yeah.
Wonderful school.
All right. Thursday night football last night was a wild one. We'll talk about that on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
What's that? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
I'd like to thank the Academy for bringing me back from the dead and sharing my story with the world. I mean, I was doing Vicodin smoothies before smoothies were cool, man. Because I'm the biggest star in the world. Michael Jackson tried to do Vicodin smoothies and he died.
Yeah.
Never land my ass.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
How about them Cowboys? Jim Beam, bringing fans together across Cowboys country. We rise as one in Texas in handed-down silver and blue jerseys. We come together for America's team every time they take the field. So let's share a round of Jim Beam highballs on game day in Cowboys country. 40% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2024 James B. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont, Kentucky. Drink smart.
The holidays are coming, and Lowe's is here to help you get ready. Right now, get up to 40% off select home decor to put the finishing touches on every room. The savings don't stop there. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $75 on select cooking appliances, $899 or more. Because Lowe's knows holiday hosting. Valid through 10/16 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
At Frost, some of our services sound too good to be true. Like the largest ATM network in Texas. Early payday, so direct deposits made to personal checking accounts are available up to 2 days earlier. Having a real live banker to talk to 24/7. Or that time a Frost banker gave a San Antonio restaurant her personal debit card number after a customer's card was mistakenly declined at his business dinner. True story. Frost, exactly what you unexpected.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back. I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
I'm Nicole Chrysler, healthcare provider at Revive Men's Health. If you are always feeling tired or moody, have a difficult time sleeping, or decreased libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health San Antonio at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Football season is here. Do you have your picks in on Sleeper? Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats, and you could win up to 100 times your money. For new users, Sleeper will even match your first deposit with up to $100 credit to your account. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code MONDAY for a credit up to $100 match on your first deposit. That's code MONDAY. Must be 18 years in most states and in state where it is legal. Promo code and other restrictions apply. Visit sleeper.com. Please wager responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-426-2537 for help. Sponsored by Sleeper, a Blitz product.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates, all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hey Roadrunner fans, this is April Ancira, VP of Ancira Auto Group, inviting you to join me and the Blitz with 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star at Ancira Nissan on Friday, October 4th from 4 to 6 p.m. We will have a meet and greet with star players JT Clark and Jamal Ligon, a giveaway for tickets to the San Antonio Zoo, Fiesta Texas, and shows at the Tobin. But most exciting is exclusive UTSA merch we are selling to benefit UTSA football. See you October 4th. Birds up.
Real estate is out of control. Between guaranteed offer programs and new laws about agent commissions, it's gotten so confusing. Know what's not confusing? Paying someone a low flat fee to sell your house. And that's where Listing Spark comes in. Listing Spark is Texas' flat fee real estate company. Flat fee selling is sweeping the nation because it's faster and it keeps more money in your pocket. In fact, professional real estate investors have known about it for years. With Listing Spark, you don't have to pay hefty agent commissions, and you don't have to leave money on the table. If you have a house worth $400,000, you actually sell it for $400,000 without paying $24,000 in agent commissions. And get this, if you get started today with Listing Spark, you can list with a local brokerage for as low as $395. Contact Listing Spark today to find out how much your home is worth for free. See, it's simple. Call 800-MLS-LIST or go to listingspark.com. That's listingspark.com. Listing Spark. Thousands of Texan homeowners agree. Selling's better with a low flat fee.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, my daily fantasy game. In fact, mine and 10 million others are playing this every day because we know what we're doing. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money on your sports action. Join me and so many others playing every day. You know why? Prize Picks invented FlexPay, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. Look, you know your sports. How many yards is CeeDee Lamb going to get this week? Is Jonathan Taylor going to get 85 or more? You know what you're doing. Go make your play. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which players aren't? You know you play fantasy football. Put your knowledge to work. And remember, use the code Alamo and there's $50 in it for you. Download the app now. Use Alamo. Play with your friends. It's the best way to have fun and get yourself in the game. Remember, Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can add to big payouts. Download the app today. Prize Picks. Run your game.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
I made arguably the worst bet I've made this entire football season so far. Last night, I played Kirk Cousins under 235.5 passing yards. I said to myself, Kirk, not moving around really well. I know that they're going to throw a bunch of blitz at him because, that's what Tampa does. And I know that Kirk doesn't play well against the blitz. And Kirk Cousins barely topped that, throwing for 509 yards. 509 yards.
The great part of this was he set the franchise record
on the day that Matt Ryan's
name was going up into the ring.
That is sweet irony.
In his 5th game, as a Falcon. Yeah, man. We've been talking about how these games are scheduled, and it just feels like there's always a kind of a subplot that you feel like the NFL would love to have happen. And last night going into it, it was the two most underappreciated quarterbacks in the modern NFL going at each other, and who will be able to squeak out something. And both of them were dialed in, man.
Who was Sam Darnold playing?
You won't know that Sam's the next. As Kirk, I think now, I heard this morning, oh my gosh, on the Nationals, I heard Kirk Cousins and Hall of Fame in the same sentence. Everybody simmer down.
Stop.
Simmer down. But I do think Kirk, with a performance like that, did kind of ascend a little bit, and now Darnold can join Baker because they've had the same kind of career path as the two most underappreciated, misunderstood, and really fun quarterbacks in the league. And last night, more than anything else, it was fun. Those two quarterbacks are dialed in, throwing dimes with time. I mean, it was just kind of an exhibition of quarterbacking last night.
I will give credit where it's due. I like Kirk Cousins. He's funny to me because he's such a
so white.
He's like a Midwest dad.
Oh gosh,
like he's the kind of guy who has like these white shoes that he always mows the lawn in, so they're green, and like those are his lawn mowing shoes. But then sometimes he'll wear them to Home Depot.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you've described the cat, and it's not made up. That's not false. That's who he is.
And I appreciate him for being that and not trying to be something that he's not. Baker, I did not like.
Really?
Baker at all early on. First of all, I was not a Baker believer when he got drafted. I said drafting Baker number 1 overall is a foolish pick. And then I hated that Baker was doing all these commercials, and he sucked. It's like, dude, figure out football, and then it's like Will Levis right now doing that mayonnaise commercial. It's like, dude, you should not be doing commercials. You should be.
But that's not his fault.
No,
somebody
I know.
comes to give him the check.
Maybe I'm being a hater, Rob.
See, I've always been a Baker believer, and it's not because of anything extraordinary other than he's always been a Baker believer. And I appreciate guys that no matter what think, just give me a chance, I'll whoop your ass. Just give me one more chance. That's all I'm asking. And that's all Baker has ever been. You knock him on his ass, he gets right back up, gets transferred around. Yeah, he wasn't talented enough to be the number 1 overall pick, but guess what? He got drafted as he cracks a beer going, holy crap, here we go. I'll never forget, and this is cheesy beyond belief, but I woke up this morning feeling dangerous, Coach. Dude, that's a guy you want to play for. When you have guys in a locker room that are just, I've always rooted for him, even though sometimes he's been his worst enemy. Watching him perform last night and over this season is a guy that is finally comfortable. He's comfortable around the dudes. He's not expected to do anything more than what Baker Mayfield can do. It's a pleasure to watch. And Kirk Cousins is in the same position. They're just comfortable quarterbacks. They know who they are. And better yet, their teams understand who they are. And their coaches understand who they are. And they're not getting put into weird situations where they've always failed.
Well, I give Baker credit because he reinvented himself. And
I don't think he reinvented
him. You know what?
See,
you're right.
that.
You might be right. I think Baker humbled himself.
That's far better. He did have to humble himself, absolutely.
Because Baker is not like Baker has the. You know what Baker is? Baker is a Yorkshire Terrier that thinks he's going to fight the German Shepherd and the Rottweiler. And I think what Baker had to do was become like a beagle. And he's a good, solid dog. He's just not – he doesn't have to puff his chest out anymore. Now he's a dog. But now he can be a dog and not try and act like he's some kind of dog that he isn't.
Well, yeah, but I do think there's something about this Napoleon complex, dude, that's just going to go get it done.
I don't like these guys. I don't like Kyler Murray. I don't like guys who try to overcompensate for being small by
agree.
Like trying to.
And that's why the Napoleon thing goes out there. But if done correctly, it's the Rudy thing where you go, this dude's just gonna go win. I just gotta kind of, I got everything I can. If I help him along, more often than not, we're probably gonna win games, and it's just because he believes it's gonna happen. And I do think having a guy like that being self-actualized, that feels comfortable to do it, that's hard to get. And nobody who's supremely gifted is like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those guys have to be the ones that worked overnight to get that good. If you're born with it, you don't act like that. And you need guys that act like that, I think.
Yeah, maybe so. I just always
he's a Travis kid. He's everything I should hate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He represents everything that I dislike about Austin and Travis. But there's something about the guy that I've just always appreciated. And, they lost last night, but watching him play solid football and should be in consideration for some kind of postseason comeback. Used to be, now he is kind of award kind of stuff.
I mean, what an incredible comeback last night by the Falcons, and to get that game-tying field goal and then the touchdown. I mean, Kirk Cousins couldn't have had a better night.
I will say that if I knew
Baker
that my kid was going to be a kicker or somebody who was going to have to perform in do-or-die situations,
you would have named him Young Wei.
Just name him something that rhymes with boo.
Oh,
so no matter what happens, you think they're cheering for you.
Yeah.
I just appreciate when he walked out and everybody was booing him. I'm like, why is everybody mad at him already? I hadn't even kicked yet.
When I was a kid and I'd go to Ranger games, it was Steve Buechele, the third baseman for the Rangers. And
boo!
As soon as he'd come up to bat, everybody would boo him. And it's like, wait a minute, why are they? Oh, it's Buechele.
Didn't this dude win a game last week? Yeah. Why are they booing him already?
All right, let's hit a break, and when we come back, we'll talk to the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Mike McCarthy's going to join the little bitty baby morning huddle on a Friday. We are excited to be here.
He's in a better mood today.
I hope you don't piss him off again.
I don't piss him off.
Rob last week, about 2 weeks ago, had Coach come up here and whoop his ass. We'll talk to him next. Morning Huddle 94.1.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we are live out at Ancira Nissan. It's going to be a great day with the UTSA Roadrunners.
JT Clark, Jamal Ligon going to be out there raising money for UTSA football athletes. Plus, we will get the latest on the Dallas Cowboys. John Machota joins us at 5:15. The Blitz live at Ancira Nissan on I-10 between Wurzbach and Huebner starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. You can go farther and save on full synthetic with our oil change special. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic with an STP Extended Life oil filter for just $35.99. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
If you love cowboy boots, you'll love this news. A new Tacova store is coming to 5300 Broadway in Alamo Heights. Inside, you'll find the finest handmade cowboy boots, Western apparel, and accessories for men and women. While you shop, enjoy complimentary drinks, boot shines, custom hat and boot branding, and more. Check out the Tacova's grand opening at 5300 Broadway in Alamo Heights. Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Enjoy live music and free swag for the first 50 folks in the door daily. Tacovas, don't go gently.
This Sunday, come cheer on the Cowboys at Twin Peaks Westover Hills. We'll be giving away an epic Cowboys jersey just for catching the game at Twin Peaks on game day. Ask your Twin Peaks server for more. So come and hang out with us and the lovely ladies at Twin Peaks this Sunday, starting at 5. Grab the best seat in the house and a frosty 29-degree beer, and be sure to catch the Cowboys dominating the Steelers. Again, that's this Sunday, starting at 5 at the Twin Peaks Westover Hills location at 151 and Loop 410.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. They say I transformed the quarterback position. The fastest ever, the strongest arm, the most rushing yards. They call me a game changer. I say BetUS.com changed the sports betting game. It started 30 years ago with the industry's biggest bonuses, and they haven't stopped. This football season, get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Join me at BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino, BetUS, where the game begins.
Testosterone plays a significant role in regulating fat metabolism and distribution in the body. It also helps to reduce serious health risks down the line. I'm Manny with Rock's Discount Vitamins, and we carry the highest quality natural testosterone boosters on the market. It immediately provides you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improves your mood. With 11 San Antonio area locations, find us at rocksdiscountvitamins.com. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for all the support.
Paid for by Hims & Hers Health. Hims & Hers Weight Loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions at forhers.com apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded.
Everyone's talking about the breakthrough of weight loss drugs. With Hers, you can access doctor-trusted weight loss plans online, like compounded GLP-1 weekly injections with the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy, all for as low as $199 a month with a 12-month plan paid up front. Get started at forhers.com/afford today. That's forhers.com/afford.
Hello.
I didn't make it into medical school, Dad.
Huh?
I didn't have an A in all my subjects, so I can't get in.
What do you mean, all these years I supported you, all the money I poured into your education, you don't get all A's? What was your bad subject? Chemistry, physiology, what?
No, Dad, spelling.
Spelling?
Yeah.
What, was it some funny microorganisms you couldn't spell or what?
No, Kinetico.
Kinetico?
Yeah.
You mean the water conditioner that uses no electricity? Are you kidding? Everybody knows how to spell Kinetico.
Not me.
Everybody knows Kinetico is the water conditioning company that revolutionized the water industry.
Sorry, Dad.
Everybody knows that Kinetico is spelled Kinetico.
I thought the instructor said Connecticut. That
Oh,
means Coast
son,
Little
you should have remembered kinetic as in kinetic energy with an O on the end. Kinetico.
Try a Kinetico for 90 days absolutely free with no contract. Call Kinetico of San Antonio at 210-656-PURE.
ConnecticutSA.com.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted it close to town with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Join their growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today. That's progressive.com/careers.
This is Jason Minix from The Blitz, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning to everybody on the Brigade Bar, watching on the YouTubes. Good to see you all here. Love that we're building that little audience. We love you guys who listen on the radio, too. It's a great place to listen to the radio, on the radio.
That's where I was always told to go.
Yeah.
But things evidently
They
changed.
do say video killed the radio star.
I heard that back 40 years ago.
Yeah, I remember that was a thing. But Here's Rob Thompson, still alive, a radio star.
Who saw that live.
Did you?
I did.
Wow. You have so much.
See, kids, back then, MTV played these things called videos.
Wow. Did you see the video or did you see the band live?
Oh, I saw the Buggles live.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
At one point. Yeah, it was probably 2 or 3 years later, but they came through San Antonio. Yeah. The Boggles.
The Boggles?
That was the name of the band that did Video Killed Radio Star.
All right, man. You learn something new every day.
That's what I'm here for.
Rob is full of information, full
of it,
of this stuff that we all need. We are efforting the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, who's going to join us. And Rob, what are you? I mean, obviously,
I don't
want to piss him off.
Yeah,
let's be careful. But
be careful of what we say before he jumps on. It's rare that you get such a long break and you go into the next game feeling more injured than you were prior to the last game 10 days ago. And the next man up mentality we've heard over and over and over, but that's going to be the theme this weekend. I mean, can he get the guys to fill the holes and get a roadie against a team, and I like to call it, in his weight class? I mean, can they find the dudes to do it? They've got them. It's just a matter if they're ready for it.
Well, it was good to see him get a win over a team that we thought they should have gotten a win over. And, not always, doesn't have to always be pretty. Wins are wins. And the Cowboys got one. But that one came at a hell of a cost, friends. Hell of a cost.
Yeah, that team in yellow pants specializes in games like this.
Yeah. And they will smack you around. That's a physical squad. So when you're already banged up, now you got to play a physical squad. Okay, this is kind of a grab your sack moment for the Cowboys this week.
So many different questions too. We saw some growth in the offense, particularly in the short passing game. A lot of success there, and that's kind of I'll be curious to find out is that short passing game a product of an offensive line that you got to just get the ball out quick, or was this the design from the get-go, and we're finally getting Ferguson and CD, who's several weeks into training camp now, and Ferg healthy again, and the use of Lepke. We just saw a really advanced part of their game advance to get that win. Short passing, crisp, 2 touchdowns came out of that short passing game. I'm curious how that's going to go on, and with the change in loss of Cooks and the addition of one of the Jalens and the flows. Is the precision going to still be there? Are they still going to have that quickness that's going to need to continue to get the ball out in under 2.5 seconds is what looks to be the goal.
You want my hot take for the Cowboys game this weekend? Pittsburgh's defense is not that good. Right, and you might be saying, well, what?
Well, they did lose last week to the Colts, so how good could they be?
Listen, so everybody's like, oh, Pittsburgh's defense, look what they're doing. Pittsburgh's defense they played Kirk Cousins, first game in a new system, first game on a new Achilles. They played Bo Nix. They played Justin Herbert with a high ankle sprain.
And they got beat by Anthony Richardson.
And they got beat by Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco and Anthony Richardson, that's right.
So I'm not sure. I think the Steelers' defense might be overrated, which means that might be a good thing for the Cowboys, who are going to be soft on defense as well this week, or at least on paper they don't look as strong on defense. So, I think there might be more points scored in this game than you would have expected.
I'm sure that both teams would like for that to be the case. I think that both teams would much rather win or lose in the high 20s just to prove to themselves they can stay in the high 20s. You know what I mean?
See, I think
than
Pittsburgh
lose in a rock fight.
I think Pittsburgh wants to be they want every game to be 12-10.
It's funny. Last week in a loss, and then obviously it was in a loss, Fields threw the ball 34 times, which doesn't feel Steeler-esque at all.
No.
But, was that the original plan when Russell was going to be there, that eventually that was going to happen? I mean, I know they were down to the Colts, but a 34-attempt game either is
that's
the
not
plan or
no.
a wild herring, and I wonder what they expect to see this week.
Yeah, that's not their plan. They want to sit on the ball. They want to grind you into dust. And, the truth is the Cowboys, up until last week, looked like a team that you'd be able to do that against. The Cowboys did a good job stopping the run last week. You got to give credit where it's due. I know your boy Mozzie.
Well, that's going to be a huge question because he did actually have some splash plays. He had a couple of difference-making plays that were a positive grade that have been few and far between. And if there's going to be a necessary part of the game where Mozzie's here not to be mentioned, but to be a fire plug, this is the game. If there's no penalties and there's, under 20 yards gained between the guards, that tells me that Mozzie was there. And we saw a couple of the plays that did make a difference last week. So I might be wrong. And this is one more opportunity to prove that the reason you were here, the thing that you were actually good at, that's all we're going to ask of you today.
And the Cowboys need to obviously get through this one more game, and then they've got the bye week. And then the assumption is they're not going to be fully healthy, but they can at least lick some wounds and come back ready to fight for the second half of the season. Again, we'll have Coach Mike McCarthy on shortly, depending on who is it, the fan or the ticket that has him before us.
The fan has him, Sean and RJ.
Okay, taking up all his time.
It is the car wash indeed.
Well, now we got to wait on Dallas. It's dumb. San Antonio should be first. We're a way better town.
Well, it gives us to talk about it, best bail bonds.
Oh, that's true.
One more time. I mean, they bring it to him every week.
That is true.
225-2121.
I thank AA Best Bail Bonds for that. And also because I know something goes wrong for me.
225-2121. I used to say, write it on your hand. You never know.
Write it on your hand before you go out?
You never know. Write it on your hand. That might be the last number you need.
That's actually not a bad idea. I guess while we're waiting, we'll mention that the New York Mets, sorry, Edwin, the New York Mets are headed to the divisional series. They knock off the Brewers. What's the kid's name? Adames from the Brewers was talking about trying to fight one of the Mets players in the parking lot. It's like, dude, don't even talk about that now. You lost the series. They're like, oh, he didn't show up in the parking lot. Well, yeah, because he's a grown-ass man, first of all, and he's trying to...
He's partying right now, bro.
You're outside sad, and he's got champagne in his eyes. He can't fight you tonight.
Mets, I guess it's a good story to some. I just hate it when teams like the Mets act like they're some kind of downtrodden, underfunded, middle America, try-hard kind of football team. You're the freaking Mets, man. You're not low-budget, hard Scrabble. We just try. You money whip everything. That's what the Mets have done. They money whip this, and they think that this was we're just a unit.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize the Mets, not the Yankees, highest payroll in baseball this year. The highest payroll in baseball. Now, I will say this.
They just try harder, though.
I give you this credit. If you're going to have a high payroll, make the playoffs.
Yes. But act like you're one of them. Don't act like you're the Royals. Don't act like, this team, we just found it in ourselves. You're a bunch of mercs, man.
The Guardians, 28th in payroll. Orioles, 27th. Tigers, 24th. Brewers, 23rd. Royals, 21st. All made the playoffs. The Mets, number 1. Okay, nice job. But at least Mets, Yankees, Dodgers, Phillies, Astros, top 5, all made the playoffs. Rangers, Blue Jays are number 6 and 7. Cubs, Giants are number 9 and 10. The Braves are number 8. So 4 of the top 10 payrolls didn't make it.
Well, I do appreciate that 6 of the 10 did. And as a general manager or as an owner, if you really want to win, if you really do, 6 out of 10 times, you can money whip your way into the playoffs.
Right.
I'll just go by, tell me the right dudes, and I'll go get them, and we'll just fall into it.
Well, real easy to do in baseball, not easy to do in football. And right now we're joined by the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys on the Buyers Barricade guest line, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Mike McCarthy joins us on the program. Coach, how are you? I'm guessing a little better this week than last week, right?
Last week? I don't think we talked.
The last time we talked, I should say. The last time we talked.
I would say, actually, I was great last week.
Yeah.
Better than most, really.
Yeah. This win over the Giants, it was a much-needed win. It came at a hell of a cost, though, Coach. Obviously, football's a game where guys get hurt every week, but, man, it just feels like the Cowboys right now have some real bad injury luck to some real key guys. And it's always going to be next man up, but how devastating is it when you lose the leaders on your team to an injury?
Yeah, definitely. I think clearly the obvious, when you talk about D-Law, Brandon and Micah, not only their playing ability, but, what those guys bring to the workplace every day too. So it's great to have those guys, I just don't like the way they're sitting in the front row with what they're dealing with. But it's unfortunate part of our game. It's at some level it happens every single year, and the timing of who and when is just part of the chess match of what you go through. But it really, our focus has been, it's the opportunity for the others and just make sure as a coaching staff we have a good plan and make sure we got the roles and responsibilities, distributed in their best interest and our best interest to make sure we have every opportunity to go win this game.
That's head coach of your Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Yeah, looking at the successes that got you through the Giant game, the offense short game looked good. I'm looking at the numbers: 13 of 14 under 143, 2 touchdowns in the under 15. You're getting the ball out in 2.5 seconds. Is that a product of what's going to work, or is that a reaction to a concern for guys getting to your quarterback, or is it CeeDee Lamb and Ferg getting healthy? What clicked and made that so successful?
No, I think it's like anything. It's your approach really every week. When and how much is really the difference between every game plan, and obviously your opponent drives some of that too. So, that's why you game plan, and that's why you watch the video and the matchups that are involved, and obviously. You go back to the Giants game, they had injuries in their perimeter. They went to an exclusive, kind of a two-shell, just trying to keep a lid on it. Was really, if you watch the way they called the game. So, our patience in the passing game was a key focus for us, and I thought Dak did a great job doing that, distributing the football.
Tyler Guyton is the rookie left tackle. He's been kind of thrown into the fire, seen some of the best guys in the league through 5 weeks, and it doesn't get any easier this week with TJ Watt. How do you prepare a young guy to see maybe the best defensive football player in the world?
No, I agree with you on his path. This is exactly what he needs. Most important thing for Tyler is to make sure he just practices every day, gets his reps in, and stays the course. Because if there's ever important time to be available, this is the time, because these are experiences that you can't buy, and he has to go through this to be the player that he's going to be. So that part of it on a personal level for him is awesome. But for us, same deal. It's kind of to the question about the passing game. We got to make sure we're giving him the tools and the opportunities to be successful. We understand that when they look at our film and then they go into their meetings on Monday, they see 2 rookie offensive linemen and the potential challenges that they're going to put on them. And I think clearly, if you go back to week 1, we're seeing more line movement than we have seen in the past, and that's probably a product of our youth up there, with the 2 young starters. So we just got to continue to work it, which we do, and him specifically will continue to get better. I have great confidence in that, and the most important thing is for those 5 guys to be working every day together and playing every Sunday together, because that's your best offensive lines. Just look at consecutive starts.
Right.
That's how you get it going, and so far so good. If we can just keep those guys, all healthy and keep working, we'll be where we want to be.
Looking at last week's game, Fields threw the ball 34 times. That didn't seem like a Pittsburgh offense that would be repeated. What did you see from them, and what do you expect from them?
No, I agree with it. But if you look at their overall numbers, they want to run the ball and play great defense. It's been a formula, back there for the last 40 years, or 50 years. But it's important to just be in touch with that. And also, we got the potential for weather out there. So those are all things that go into it. But it always starts with the run. So we have to stop the run and get off the field on 3rd down. And really 3rd down is really big for both sides of the ball. One of the things that we need to be better on is the penalties. Our penalties in 3rd down and red zone have really factored in time of possession and all the things, the opportunities. So those are the things we're working on to clean up and just stay focused on, and it'll definitely be part of this contest Sunday night, because you look at all the numbers. Ideally, they like to keep the series opportunities low for both sides of the ball and play to their defense. So it's important for us to max out every opportunity we have that football, and obviously us stopping the run and getting off the field on third down will enhance that.
Well, let's talk about stopping the run, because through 3 weeks, that was kind of the big knock on your defense, was that you guys were getting gashed. What changed against the Giants? You guys 1.1 yards per carry allowed against the Giants, only 26 rushing yards. Was that something that you guys really focused on and changed, or is that just Derrick Henry and Alvin Kamara weren't on the other team this week?
Well, I think just like anything, it really starts in the run blocking unit, and it starts with the run defensive unit. So we obviously had a much better week of preparation, coming off the performance that we had prior to that. So yeah, definitely there's a bright light on our run defense, and we need to continue to be disciplined and the block destruction, and we need to tackle better. So and that's something that we've done extra work on this week.
You guys have seen some running quarterbacks already, Lamar, and then actually did a good job with Daniel Jones last week. Does that help prepare you for a guy like Justin Fields, who has that element to his game?
Yeah, definitely. I think just like anything, when you play those type of dynamic players, and particularly how you handle that, and with the vision and the different calls. But obviously it's the stress points that they have around it too. Is that's part of that equation. So, but yeah, definitely, I think all those experiences carry forward.
Homecoming, Coach. You going to stop by Primanti's or go to Max's or Kelly's while you're in town?
No, I don't really have time for that. But yeah, I'm definitely going to get to spend some time with the family. I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody.
That is head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Coach, best of luck to you this weekend, and one more after this, and we can take a week off and maybe lick some wounds before we get into the second half of the season. Get your team healthy. Appreciate the time as always, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck, Coach.
There you go. Mike McCarthy, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. And, of course, all guests appear via the Buyers Barricade guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com.
The most Dallas thing ever was Jerry landing on a copter in practice.
I didn't even ask about that.
He'd already been asked about it. I'm sure he's sick of hearing about it. But it's like out of a movie scene.
All right, we'll be back. We'll get into what's coming up this week with the Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding the work with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. It's the Morning Huddle, KTFM Floresville.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I gotta fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're gonna be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code DIRECT to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code DIRECT for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code DIRECT for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code DIRECT.
Wendy's breakfast burrito has an entire breakfast in every bite. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, and sausage or bacon. So the first bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. Bacon. And the second bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. Bacon. And the third bite, you get the idea. The boss of breakfast burritos, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Hear that? It's the gentle sound of a waterfall on your hike. And if you were here, you'd take a deep breath of fresh air if you weren't so winded. But you're not here, because Because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. And the bugs you wipe from your headlights are all the nature you need. So if you ride, see if you could save with Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Get an online quote in as little as 3 minutes. All from the great indoors. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Football season is here. Do you have your picks in on Sleeper? Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats, and you could win up to 100 times your money. For new users, Sleeper will even match your first deposit with up to $100 credit to your account. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code MONDAY for a credit up to $100 match on your first deposit. That's code MONDAY. Must be 18 years in most states and in state where it is legal. Promo code and other restrictions apply. Visit sleeper.com. Please wager responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-426-2537 for help. Sponsored by Sleeper, a Blitz product.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. You can go farther and save on full synthetic with our oil change special. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic with an STP Extended Life oil filter for just $35.99. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Join their growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today. That's progressive.com/careers.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
In the NFL, Kirk Cousins threw for 509 yards, 4 tutties and an Oski in a comeback 36-30 overtime win as Atlanta moves to 3-2. Thursday on the Blitz, Stephen Jones dismissed Devontae Adams' trade rumors, citing salary cap issues, stating it would be a long putt to bring in the other number 1. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1. Thanks to Coach Mike McCarthy. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds here. Every Friday, we'll replay it at 9 if you missed any of it. We won't replay Pete Alonso's home run because Edwin is very sad about it. Edwin, did you watch the game? Did you? What was the emotions like for you? How did you feel when Pete Alonso came up?
It was a punch to the gut.
Yeah.
2 outs away.
Did you believe? Were you at that moment, or did you know it was coming?
I mean, they brewered eventually, but yeah. I mean, it was tough. We should be in Philadelphia right now.
But does it help knowing that Philadelphia was probably going to stomp a hole in you anyway?
Yeah, but they hadn't won a playoff series in 6 years. I mean, Arizona made it last year, so
That's
never
true.
know.
You never know.
Saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance. Saying there's a chance, boys. I don't know that we'll get to baseball today. We'll probably get into the baseball more on Monday.
That feel-good story that is the Mets. That just just got together and they tried real hard.
The little engine that could.
They just
with the highest payroll.
Give up.
Actually, I think part of why the Mets have the highest payroll is because they were still paying Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer this year.
I think that's not a joke.
So, to be fair, a lot of their payroll goes to other teams, but don't feel bad for the Mets. Mets aren't some sort of cute story.
Yeah.
Screw the Mets. If you're making me cheer for the Phillies,
I hear their manager's a hell of a good guy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I want the Padres to win the NL so bad. They need to. They need it. I need it for the Padres because all the other teams are so unlikable.
I don't think baseball shares your
I know they
enthusiasm.
Don't. They want Dodgers because they want Ohtani, which I love Ohtani too. Don't get me wrong, but I don't want him to win the World Series because he plays for the Dodgers.
Well, we don't want any more upsets, right? We just want
now they want chalk.
We want chalk, so we get
Dodgers Yankees.
Yeah.
To the end, baby. That's what Major League Baseball wants.
I think Dodgers probably a definite. Yeah,
dude,
maybe not the Yanks.
I think the American League's wide open.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the story that Cleveland brings might be fun.
Yeah,
but Ohtani got to be there.
You know what? As long as if they have star power from the National League, I don't think it matters who's there from the American League.
Because I think whoever comes out will be a good story because somebody about to get hot.
Yeah. I mean, like, if the Tigers or Royals are in the World Series, they better be there against the Dodgers because you talk about ratings nightmare. Padres, Tigers.
Because the Padres have the potential to be no hit. Because they're going to fabulously fail at some point. They're going to have a game where they're going to fabulously fail. They just feel like that kind of team, but they're also the kind of team that can unleash 12 runs on you.
A job I interviewed for a couple times and I actually ended up passing on the job, but before I came here was a station in San Diego that's like the flagship station of the Padres.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I didn't go take this job, like the idea, living in San Diego, how awesome, right? That station wanted to talk to Padres all day, every day. They were like, we don't care about NFL in this market. We don't care about the NBA. We only talk Padres here. I was like, what? That's crazy. Like,
that's.
Imagine obviously this is a one-team town from a local sports team standpoint. But imagine like RPD was saying, you guys talk Spurs and only Spurs 24/7. Would you want to work here?
I'm not going to comment on anything.
That would be crazy.
I'm not going to comment on anything.
That would be crazy.
I do know that that San Diego has PTSD because they had the equivalent of.
I get it.
They lose the Chargers an hour north.
Yeah.
Literally, it's the equivalent of losing the Spurs to Austin. But I would be like, I ain't talking about them at all.
The difference is they didn't care about the Chargers.
Truth. So
like the Spurs, like imagine the Spurs have like 20% attendance every week and then they're gone. Like nobody can be mad at that. Like
they didn't have 20%. They wouldn't build a new stadium. They're fans. They have decent fans.
Attendance was way down for them.
They had decent fans.
It wasn't like Oakland A's level, but it was. You're right. All right.
They did have a dip, but I think it was more about a hatred for their owner. So I can't imagine having to sit at a station and at least once a week Steve Garvey was brought up. Tony Gwynn. We'd have our hourly Tony Gwynn memory.
What's your favorite thing about Benito Santiago?
Remember when? Remember that? That would be truly dying on the
Let's
mind.
talk about Dave Dravecki again. Can't wait. No, I'm cheering for the Padres in the NL, but I don't really care who it is in the AL.
Manfred is not.
I'd prefer. You know what? I think I want the Tigers to win, just because my guy Skubal. I'll cheer for Tarek Skubal, but I don't really care. My interest in baseball's declined rapidly in the last 48 hours.
It'll pick up in about 2 weeks.
Well, football season will still be going on.
Yeah, but you can't help but pay attention to the end of the CSs and the.
No, you can.
No,
I found it.
Last year you missed it. I mean, you didn't care. But normally they have a game or two where you're going to pay attention on a Tuesday or Wednesday.
Last year, once the Astros were out, I said, "Oh, good, I'm out."
Well, but last year was awful. I mean, last year was just truly awful.
This has potential to be that.
But I don't think it's going to be awful because what happened last year.
You going to watch Mets Royals?
No. Like I said, I'll be back in a couple weeks. Game 4 or 5 of the CS.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And then we'll see where we
watching
sit.
a Mets Royals World Series if it's there?
No, because, good news, I don't think that's going to happen. These two hard scrabble poor teams fighting against the rich guys.
Yeah. Something like that.
So.
Kirk Cousins throws for 5 bazillion yards last night as the Falcons get an overtime win against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Dude, Baker Mayfield's face on the sideline, he was so bummed because he thought he'd had it.
Oh, man, he played good enough to win. Those are the worst, man.
He thought he had it. And Kirk Cousins engineering the drive to get the field goal and getting the ball clocked with 1 second left. There were people bitching that the ref didn't set the ball, even though he did. Good job by the ref of setting the ball and getting out of the way. Kirk Cousins clocks it, and Younghoe Koo kicks the game-tying field goal and the touchdown. Hell of a win for the Falcons. You're not going to believe these numbers, Rob. The Atlanta Falcons, their last 4 games, they had in week 2 against the Eagles, they had a game-winning 2-minute drive, if you remember. Week 3, they had 2 red zone drives, almost getting it in against the Chiefs.
That's a Kansas City game.
Yeah, probably should have won that game. Week 4, they get a Younghoe Koo kick to take the lead at the very end of the game, a game-winning field goal, and then last night, overtime win after the last-second field goal. The Eagles, Saints, and Bucks, those 3 wins, their win probabilities in those 3 games, the Eagles, they had a 1% win probability.
At what point in that game? I mean, I'm always curious about how late. How late was the worst? And it was late on all of these. In the second half, they were low probability wins.
Yeah, in the Eagles game, they had a 1% probability with, it was in the last minute of the game. So it's.
Is it lucky or good? And that's the answer.
The question. Here it is. It was 151 left in the game. Eagles had a 99% win probability.
Are they lucky or are they good?
Maybe a little bit of both.
Well, that's what you hope for. But in your mind, when you watched last night, did you walk away going, "Man, Atlanta scares me"?
No.
Yeah. No. So maybe it'll eventually happen because I've watched Minnesota win games that I didn't expect them to win and play in ways I didn't expect them to play, much like Atlanta. But I watched Minnesota going, I don't think I'm going to want to play them in a month.
Well, that's the beauty of this next-gen stat, and that's why let me finish this stat real quick. So that 1% in the Eagles, 26% was the lowest in the Saints, 5% was their lowest probability last night. So the probability of them winning all 3 of those games.
Oh, infinitesimal.
0.013% chance to win. That's one time in every 7,692 simulations would they win all 3 of those games. So what that tells you is, while the Falcons are sitting at 3-2, and you go, oh well, that's good. The Falcons probably aren't that good. The Falcons probably should be 2-3, maybe even 1-4.
But I do believe. No, you're right, but I believe in inertia, and I do think that there's validity to I'm on fire. That literally I'm whatever it is, whether I'm making it because I believe it or I believe it, therefore I'm going to make it, one or the other. My luck suddenly got better, and if you start believing you're going to win everything, normally you do, and I think that there's something to it. The Texans
you
last
can't
year.
do that. You can't keep.
I kept thinking the Texans were going to fall apart. How many games did they salvage in the last 3 minutes with a miracle throw or catch? At least 3, and you kept going. At some point, you're going to come back to earth. But the momentum just kind of carries you through. Now, it's early, and Atlanta has holes. There's no doubt. But I am starting to believe that they believe enough to overcome things that teams that don't necessarily believe or are really trying hard to get there don't overcome. And I've seen 2 games out of the 5 where they just literally snatched victory out of the jaws of defeat, literally like downfield drive, and there should have been 3 of them.
So Kaderl Hodge, who scored the game-winning touchdown in overtime, Next Gen Stat says that was the 6th most improbable touchdown reception of the season based on where he caught the ball, how close guys were to him. That would have been a touchdown 0.03% of the time.
Was a dart, man.
It like bouncing off players, like had no business scoring that touchdown. So listen, man, I'm not saying it's a phony win. What I'm saying is it's hard to keep winning games you're supposed to lose. And I believe in what you're saying too. I believe in momentum. I also believe in math. And like it's like if you play poker, like how many times are you going to go in with a 4-5 against 2 aces and win the hand? Like it's cool when it happens, but if you do that 4 or 5 times in a row, your luck runs out.
And you're there. But I will say that the product of momentum is belief. And belief matters almost as much as the fundamentals. If you're just dead set believe it's going to happen one way or another, it happens a lot of times to things and people that believe it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that momentum starts, and it's very difficult to stop. But at the same time, the moment doubt creeps in, the moment you're not firing on all cylinders, all things collapse because you're relying on something that isn't repeatable. The fundamentals are what's repeatable. That's why you never are too high or too low. Those are the teams that win consistently. But where they are now, they believe. Tampa to some extent does too. But I'll ride this Atlanta wave for a little bit longer.
The game of his life, Kirk Cousins, the 25th quarterback with a 500 passing yard game. Dude, he was all smiles after that game, rightfully so. Congratulations to him. All right, when we come back, we'll hear a little sound from Stephen Jones. I guess the blitz went viral yesterday.
Viral, yeah.
Whoa,
it's a long putt, baby.
We'll hear from Stephen Jones on the other side. Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one and has some fun with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
Now, you don't got a contract. You got nothing to lose. Is a 70-yard field goal in the offing soon? Will we see that this year?
Depends on the win this week.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
I just said, well, that's fine. I'm not paying. So I said, here's what I'll do. I'm very angry, and I should just say I'm not paying anything, but I'm going to pay half of this. And you're going to get the other half for being a liar.
And a little math refresher, Gigi. What is 100% of 0?
Thank you. Thank you for my math lesson of the day.
Oh, that's good. The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey guys, AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Make sure you stop by SA Card House, which is San Antonio's premier poker experience, and get signed up for the $50K Guaranteed Tournament October 3rd through the 6th. Just $125 buy-in for your chance to win a share of $50K. Day ones are happening Thursday through Saturday. Day 2 happens on Sunday. 10% are going to advance to Day 2. Go in and get that money. More details online at sacardhouse.com.
If you love cowboy boots, you'll love this news. A new Tacova store is coming to 5300 Broadway in Alamo Heights. Inside, you'll find the finest handmade cowboy boots, Western apparel, and accessories for men and women. While you shop, enjoy complimentary drinks, boot shines, custom hat and boot branding, and more. Check out the Tacovas grand opening at 5300 Broadway in Alamo Heights. Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Enjoy live music and free swag for the first 50 folks in the door daily. Tacovas, don't go gently.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 210-615-7777 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This Sunday, come cheer on the Cowboys at Twin Peaks Westover Hills. We'll be giving away an epic Cowboys jersey just for catching the game at Twin Peaks on game day. Ask your Twin Peaks server for more. So come and hang out with us and the lovely ladies at Twin Peaks this Sunday, starting at 5. Grab the best seat in the house and a frosty 29-degree beer, and be sure to catch the Cowboys dominating the Steelers. Again, that's this Sunday, starting at 5 at the Twin Peaks Westover Hills location at 151 and Loop 410.
Before you fire up that grill, get into Tri-County Meat Market, because that great meal starts with great meat. Locally owned and full service, Tri-County has everything you need to up your grilling game. Steaks, beef ribs, pork ribs, their seasoned fajitas, chicken, poppers. Tri-County has what you need with the quality you expect. You can always take advantage of their Pick 5 special, and they always offer a 10% discount for military and first responders. 2 locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Heavener, online at TriCountyMeat.com.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know, our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Paramount Plus is once again your home to stream the NFL on CBS. Follow all the action and stream your live local NFL on CBS game every Sunday, all the way through the AFC Championship. Sign up, sign in, and start streaming Paramount Plus today.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday morning at 11, the Aggies take on the Missouri Tigers, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game coverage begins at 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Got some tickets for you, boys. Want a pair of tickets to see comedian Russell Howard before you can buy them. You won't be able to buy them until 10 o'clock today. We'll be off the air then. Oh, Rob will already be halfway to Austin by then.
I'm already halfway there now.
He's already gone.
I'm already on 35.
Russell Howard, the fine comedian. You can win him before you can buy him. He'll be playing the Aztec Theater on March 19th. And like I said, if you don't win, you can get your tickets starting at 10 o'clock at livenation.com. Let's go with caller number 3 to our little radio station here. You can go see Russell Howard. You and a friend even. We'll give you 2 tickets. How about that deal? So there you go.
What am I seeing on TV? Is Ryan a superhero? Is he like a villain against the Justice League now?
You know what? I've seen that multiple times. I don't know where why the guys have started wearing these half and half suits.
So other people are wearing these now?
I've seen it probably 3
Is it
or 4
just
times
the other
in
half
the last.
Of that suit?
No, I'm guessing that it'd be. I guess you'd want a suit partner.
Yeah, you'd have. If I had a dude that was the same size, then I'll take half. You take half.
Like maybe you and I could do that.
Just like photo negative. Like,
yeah.
I mean, we couldn't
wear
really
them the same day. It'd look really funny.
No, it'd look awesome.
I guess. Yeah. All right.
You could go it would look like. You know those old posters if you go cross-eyed, you could see it?
Yeah, yeah.
Like if you looked at us and you went cross-eyed, it'd be like one dude.
Okay. Would the dude have hair?
Half of him.
Oh, that'll be weird.
That might be interspersed. It'd be just it'd be half as much hair, but it would still be all over the head.
I think if I grew all my hair, that it would be like that. Like
you'd have the Sherman Hemsley.
I'd have
the George Jefferson.
I like to have the bozo ring.
The bozo, the Costanza.
Yeah, that's what I would have, I think. I haven't had my hair grown out in a long time, but the last time I had hair, I still had it all in the front. But it was just starting to fade a little in the back, and I was like, nope, not me, Bubba, not me. So I just said I'm leaning into this thing.
Well, I just I don't know who paid him to wear that suit.
I don't
I
like
hope
it.
someone did.
Rob, you told me today that another brewery's closing down in San Antonio.
Yeah, man, this hits home for a lot of people. Busted Sandal announced it. That's what they did a couple of days ago. They're gone. Weathered Souls gone in the last month. We're losing some real good San Antonio folks and some good business, and more importantly, some good beers. You know, Busted Sandal always had that kind of. I like their beers because it was kind of had a Mexican kind of flip to it, so it was easy drinking porch beer. Man, we're gonna miss them. This is tough.
Yeah, it is a bummer, man. So Busted Sandal has 3 locations, I guess. One in San Antonio, one in Elotes, and one in Kerrville. They're all going to close in the next month or so. Unfortunate, man. Times are hard out there for businesses.
But as I've discovered through you, there's this underground of brewers. That. So do you get a sense that if you're a brewer, a brewmaster, what would be known as? Is that your title?
Brewmaster,
a
yeah.
Brewmaster of a. Are you like a head coach? Like, and then you go interview with a brewery and you bring your recipes. This is what I do, and this is how I will do it. Will you hire me? And
sure.
So that's what these guys are doing. They got resumes out, and I'm an expert in a pilsner, and I will bring to you the finest pilsners in the land.
But it's also, I mean, it's hard to get those jobs now.
Yeah,
there's going to be fewer of them.
So are these guys like restaurateurs? Will they go find some money and open their own?
That's my guess.
That's normally how it works.
I can't say with any. I'm friends with a guy that worked at the head brewer at Weathered Souls, which closed down like a couple weeks ago. Former head brewer, like he had left the company about, I'd say, 4 or 5 months before the whole thing shut down. I think he kind of saw the writing on the wall and didn't like the way they were going. But he is like a James Beard nominated chef. I think he's talking about opening a place downtown that's got a bunch of craft beer taps where he can cook fried chicken, and he's gonna make a chicken restaurant that has good beer, which I'd be down for. So hopefully that works out. But yeah, a lot of these places, it's just like the prices are going up, and people, it was tough already to get people to spend $8 on a pint instead of instead of $5.
And now it's 10, 12,
yeah,
14.
and it's just it's unsustainable. So it's a bummer. I might have to go down and. I've never actually been to Busted Sandal since I've been here. So
the one in Lotus that's the one that I would go to pretty regularly. And great spot. Great spot. Yeah.
We need to hit one up before they close down. So that's a bit of a bummer. Stephen Jones was on with the boys from the Blitz yesterday, and you said, I didn't hear this anywhere else, but you said that they had I guess maybe we don't have that on the cut sheet. It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
okay. Steve, here we go. They asked Steven about maybe getting their hands on Devontae Adams, and this clip made the rounds, I guess, nationally yesterday. So basically, what I'm saying is, Jason and Joe are big time celebrities now. They are. They've become very, very famous.
Now they're viral.
No, I don't think there's anything to that. And Devontae's we just signed our number one guy, and he's the number one receiver. And as you know, when you have the challenges cap wise that we have, that'd be a long putt for us.
Be a long putt, baby.
It's so funny. The Cowboys keep talking about the challenges that they have with the cap. Like,
it's like my dad when I was growing up with the air conditioning. Like, hey, we got to keep this at 72. If it goes up, it's at 69. You know what the bill's going to be like?
And then you realize as you get older, like, my dad was just being cheap.
Yeah,
my dad's got money.
Cheap. I don't know. What are you talking? This is them just being cheap. What are you talking about? You got $20 million right now in cap space. You have been in the first 15 years that Jerry owned this team. Now, granted, the rules have changed, but you guys were the masters of spending to the limit and then figuring it out. I mean, that's what you did. You signed big contracts and you renegotiated with those guys 2, 3, 4 times as you kicked the can down the road, but you were consistently paying dudes. Something has changed, man. They turned into my dad looking at the thermostat in like, a month where you shouldn't even be worried about it. Like in the middle of October going, hey, if you turn it below 72, well, it doesn't even go below 72. And if it did, it's only going to cost you about $18 million, and you got 28 in the bank.
Well, I mean, listen, if you don't, if you're not willing to spend the money, it's you don't want to say out loud, we don't want to spend any more money. We're conserving, whatever. But there is sense to, man, we've got to be prepared to pay Micah. Like say it like that.
Yes.
Don't say our cap situation doesn't allow us to go out
because you have the money. You just say our priorities, and I like the way you said it. We signed our number one already. Our number one is CeeDee Lamb. We believe he's enough. We don't think we need any more. And I like that attitude. And that's what you say to Jason and Joe. But you get on the phone and talk to Mark Davis or whoever is deciding, and you say something entirely different to them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want him till I get him, and then I wanted him all along.
But I also understand the aspect that you can't, because I've heard people say, well, they could just trade for him, and then there's no commitment to him after this year.
No, he ain't going to go no commitment.
You can't trade for a guy and then just let him walk away for nothing. Like that's dumb business. But also, I don't think Devontae Adams is going to want that. He's not going to
go anywhere without a guarantee for the next 4 years.
Yeah, he's going to get these two non-guaranteed years are probably going to get voided, and he's going to.
And he'll get 2 more guaranteed, or at least 1 more, and a player option after that.
So I get it, but maybe could have worded it a little differently.
I still would say 30%, 25% that he lands with Dallas. I still will put, hey, let me tell you, there's a long way between here and there. And the Raiders don't have to do anything yet because they're going to rely on somebody's going to reach the point of pain. Somebody's going to come to the realization that if it ain't him, it ain't it. We're not going to get where we wanted to go, and we'll have to pay for it. And I think the Raiders are going to wait until the trade deadline and see what cooks. 1 injury, 2 losses, a coach about to lose his job. You never know what would happen. So I think that even though he's saying that, you never know what happens after Pittsburgh, after bye week. New coach could be sitting here. There could be an entirely different attitude in the next 3 weeks.
When we come back, we're going to talk some college football. We'll jump into the college realm. Maybe look at the top 25 that are going to be in action this weekend. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday night at 7:20. The Cowboys are in the Steel City taking on Pittsburgh.
I like this kind of party.
Pregame starts at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
You asked for it, you got it. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. I had an advantage. My legs were a weapon. 6,109 rushing yards, still unbeaten records. That's why I bet at BetUS.com. They offer American sports bettors an advantage. The industry's biggest bonus, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. And get expert picks and predictions on their very own BetUS TV. Take advantage. Join me online at BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. BetUS, where the game begins.
Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts for the power, performance, and reliability of a new Super Start battery. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Awesome Tickets is your personal ticket broker. Big games, big concerts, big events. Need tickets? Stay local and call Awesome Tickets. Stop paying all those crazy fees on ticket apps. Awesome Tickets has your tickets for all the sports, concerts, any city, any event. Avoid the ticket app fees. Since 1994, Awesome Tickets is local and veteran owned. You deserve Awesome Tickets. Call 210-226-5136 or online at awesometix.com. That's awesometix.com.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards going to see your favorite team in the playoffs. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can go see your favorite team in the playoffs. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but we cannot guarantee that your favorite team will make the playoffs or even finish with a winning record. They could easily lose more than half their games and finish in the cellar because they stink badly and haven't made the playoffs in years. Savings? Very possible. Playoffs? Highly doubtful. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates, not available in all states. We cannot be held liable for your favorite team's terrible and frankly embarrassing performances now or ever.
The time for holiday hosting is upon us, so make your second bathroom second to none with HomeDepot.com's best savings of the season. Right now, enjoy up to 40% off select online bath. Find the latest on-trend styles of vanities, faucets, showers, tubs, toilets, and more. All at prices that will let your budget relax right along with you and your beautifully renovated bath. Get up to 40% off select online bath plus free delivery at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, see HomeDepot.com/delivery for details.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
When there's work to do, ground to break, and a reputation to uphold, you need the powerful, durable Kubota RTVX, North America's #1 selling diesel utility vehicle. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 36 months, or save up to $1,000. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, for over 75 years, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, my daily fantasy game. In fact, mine and 10 million others are playing this every day because we know what we're doing. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money on your sports action. Join me and so many others playing every day. You know why? Prize Picks invented FlexPay, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. Look, you know your sports. How many yards is CeeDee Lamb going to get this week? Is Jonathan Taylor going to get 85 or more? You know what you're doing. Go make your play. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which players aren't? You know you play fantasy football. Put your knowledge to work. And remember, use the code Alamo and there's $50 in it for you. Download the app now. Use Alamo. Play with your friends. It's the best way to have fun and get yourself in the game. Remember, Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can add to big payouts. Download the app today. Prize Picks. Run your game.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Join their growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today. That's progressive.com/careers.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We do have an accident on the west side causing almost a 30-minute delay. Loop 410 northbound approaching Culebra. 2 left lanes blocked. Delay started Highway 90. On I-10 eastbound at Fulton, got an accident right lane. Stop and go from Fresno. And Babcock at Callahan, accident right lane. If you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line so we can check it out. 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we are live out at Encira Nissan. It's going to be a great day with the UTSA Roadrunners.
JT Clark, Jamal Ligon going to be out there raising money for UTSA football athletes. Plus, we will get the latest on the Dallas Cowboys. John Machota joins us at 5:15. The Blitz live at Encira Nissan on I-10 between Wurzbach and Huebner starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Joe Reinagel. You're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Later on our little Sports Star here, high school football game of the week, Jefferson takes on Burbank.
Are you coming to the rock pile tonight?
Doesn't say here.
It's the rock pile.
Pregame starts at 6:30, kickoff for 7.
That's old school San Antonio.
Burbank High School.
Burbank and Jeff, I bet they played each other 100 times.
Yeah.
Oh, this old school.
SA Sports Star High School Football Game of the Week, energized by Hill Electric, Frost Bank, and NCE General Contractors. Also brought to you in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, Smoky Moe's Texas Barbecue, TSAOG Orthopedics, and the Texas Air National Guard. So they'll be doing that. And the Blitz is out at Ancira Nissan for a UTSA football meet and greet. Blitz is live today at Ancira for a meet and greet with some football stars from UTSA. I don't know what players exactly are out there, but they'll have players out there. Your chance to get some exclusive new merch that all benefits UTSA's football players.
Okay, let's not dance around let's not dance around what this is.
This is a fundraiser.
This is part of the collective to raise the money to get the athletes that you will pay tickets to buy tickets to go see on Saturdays.
Yes.
So UTSA fan who will bitch when Coach Traylor eventually leaves, or you might have a role in him staying, who will bitch when our best players transfer to Ole Miss or wherever it might be. Don't bitch unless you have gone and committed a little bit of yourself and your hard-earned money to play a role in this. This is how college football works now, UTSA.
Plus, they've got some tickets to the San Antonio Zoo, Fiesta Texas, the Tobin Center, and the Heisman Trophy is going to be out there. So you can go out there and...
is this the Reggie Bush one?
I don't know which one
extra
it is.
That we have laying around.
Might be.
He gave
Might
back
be.
that we really don't want, so we'll just use that one on tour.
That's the Blitz today at Ancira Nissan on I-10 between Wurzbach and Huebner. Go check it out. All right, college football this weekend. We got 2 top 25 teams in action tonight.
Yeah.
In fact, Rob, Michigan State is at Oregon. I think Oregon might
pants them.
They might put a hurting on old Sparty here. And Syracuse is at UNLV.
Go!
The unbeaten UNLV Rebels, 25th ranked. Well, tied for 25th.
I hear
Rob.
their quarterback's highly underpaid.
Highly underpaid. Haj Malik Williams showing we don't need Kyle Sluka.
Last Friday night, we kind of thought it would be a wash, and we saw a ridiculous pass.
Dude, he's better. He's better. He's not throwing 41%.
Well, I'm talking about the game Miami.
Miami Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech last Friday night we thought would be a wash, and it's going to be the game of the year.
Yeah, it was a great game.
So expectations are large, but
Elsewhere on Saturday, we've got
get up early.
The early game. Let's just go ahead and jump right on it. Mizzou at A&M. This has been one of the hardest games for me to handicap. I really don't have a good feel for what's going to happen. I think the number is fair. I think A&M's got a good chance of winning this. I think Missouri's got a good chance of winning this, which makes it an interesting game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I both of these teams, I think, have probably underperformed a little bit. In that, not that they're 4-0 and 4-1. They're all happy with their record. But
it's how they've done it.
Yeah, Mizzou is certainly disappointed in what they've done. They don't want to be playing close games against Vanderbilt and Boston College. And then A&M, they're in a weird spot because their offensive numbers the last couple of weeks have kind of dropped off.
But they've won.
And
they haven't turned the ball over.
The thought is there's a big rush to get Connor Wegman back. But I don't really know who's better between these two guys. And first of all, when you have that problem, this is, make no mistake, this is not a Quinn Ewers, Arch Manning situation. Like, there's a good chance that neither one of these guys is any good, and the A&M's going to win football games in spite of having below average quarterback play. Connor Wegman showed up fat, he was out of shape. That Notre Dame game was I still remember texting you going, this guy might not be any good.
And he might very well not be.
But they're we've got to get him back.
I don't think there hasn't been the charge to get him back, but I will say that what has been seen over the last couple of weeks, and they're winning, and they're winning because the defense is solid
and the O-line is solid,
and they're not turning the ball over. Marcel is not throwing interceptions, so you're committing time to the offense. You're keeping the other offense off the field. Your defense is squelching. You're not gonna, as long as they don't get the ball over the top, you've been pretty solid defensively. So there's reason to keep them there. But on the other side of this, there's other things in play other than Wegman. Because how you treat players now affects the transfer portal. It affects recruiting. And there is, despite all the guys like us, there is a standard that you don't lose your job when you get hurt. There is.
Yeah.
And it might not matter to fans. All that matters is W's, but coaches, recruiters, family, promises matter. And if a promise is you're my starting quarterback until you are beaten out, you got to live by that. And I think that they're going to make sure that Wegman is perfectly healthy to do that. But then there's also the facet of A&M where the completion percentage is below 50. We're talking about 30% completion percentage, but it's been offset by the lack of turnovers. And I'd rather win ugly.
Running ability.
Yeah, so I'd rather win ugly and see a chunk play or two, a third down and 12 pickup, and punting the ball the other times instead of some kind of desperate pass that turns into a turnover. So the argument is there. I do believe that the moment Wegman is fully healthy, he will get the ball. Now, whether he gets to keep the ball is going to be entirely up to him, and he'll have a short hook.
Penn State is a 28-point favorite. Number 7, Penn State is a 28-point favorite at home against UCLA, who is off to a rough start in Big Ten play. They lost by 29 at home to Indiana, lost by 21 at home to Oregon. Now they got to go all the way across the country for an 11 a.m. start.
Against a team that rolled into Illinois last week and kicked their ass.
Well, so although Penn State didn't cover last week.
Yeah, but that Illinois team was fired up. That was a hostile environment.
Number 22, Louisville hosts SMU. Louisville's a 6.5-point favorite. I like Louisville here. I think that SMU kind of got the big heads last week because they beat up on Florida State. I got news for you.
I don't know, man.
Beating up on Florida State's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, we'll see. I think that I don't think SMU is better, but I do think that this is going to be a better football game. A lot of people think.
They're going on the road. They've gone on the road once this year, and they almost lost at Nevada. It's one thing to beat up Houston Christian and a broken Florida State team in your building.
Who else they beat?
They lost to BYU. TCU was their other win.
That was it, TCU.
TCU was their other win. So they've won. They beat Nevada, Houston Christian, TCU, Florida State, lost to BYU. Yeah. The Iowa is at Ohio State, and this is not your dad's Iowa team. They
throw the ball?
They do throw the ball. They are 4-0 to the over this year. Iowa has gone over in every game. Now, this is a team that was like scoring 6 points per game last season. They got a little fight in them. The total in this one's 45. Ohio State an 18.5-point favorite. Georgia looking to bounce back. I would not want to play the Georgia Bulldogs this weekend. They are 22-point home favorites against Auburn. There's still a part of me that thinks Georgia might still be the best team in college football.
Oh, no, they're not even. They're third. Wow, they're third. I mean, after the Kentucky example was modified and improved upon by Alabama, there is tape out. We know where the weaknesses are on Georgia.
Well, it turns out, I mean, with the exception of about a 6 or 7 minute span, Georgia outplayed Alabama in that game.
Yeah, but they got out.
And that Kentucky data point after Kentucky beat Ole Miss doesn't look as crazy as it did at the time.
No, I agree. But the way that Georgia lost both of those games.
Well, Georgia didn't lose that Kentucky game, remember. They won.
No, they won, but was losing.
Yes.
And you stop the running game for Georgia. They're in trouble.
Yeah. I think Georgia's going to look for explosive plays. I think they're going to get more explosive plays. I think that they look good against Auburn. Ole Miss has to bounce back as well. I was actually hoping to back South Carolina in this spot. Unfortunately, Ole Miss lost last week, and this number that was supposed to be about South Carolina plus 14 is now South Carolina plus 9. And you got a pissed off Lane Kiffin.
They're
so
good.
no thanks. I'll be passing that game.
Only thing I'd pay attention there, I don't know. Is there anybody hurt on that offense? Did they lose anybody there?
No, I don't
if
think
not,
so.
if everybody's fine, they're gonna. I would not want to be South Carolina this week.
The Indiana Hoosiers, 5-0. Indiana Hoosiers, number 23 in the country. One of the few teams in the country. I believe it's Indiana, Texas, Tennessee, and Army have not trailed this season at any point in any game. Their closest game, Indiana, was last week. They beat Maryland by 14 points. That's the closest game they've played. They are playing bully ball under Kurt Cignetti. I'm in love with this Indiana team. I hope they keep winning. I'm sure the party's going to end here shortly.
Yeah.
But right now, it's fun. And they're at Northwestern this week. Then they've got Nebraska, Washington at home, at Michigan State. Then they go Michigan at Ohio State. So they could hang around for a while. Like once they get into the meat of it, they'll probably start to drop some. But I like Kurt Cignetti as a coach. I like this Indiana team. So I like backing them this weekend as well.
They got Northwestern.
Yeah,
are they
Northwestern.
on that? Are they playing on that
the
field?
lake? Yeah, on the lake. Very cool little. If you haven't seen any of those, well, it's on the Big Ten Network. So good luck seeing it this week, unless you've got some sort of
well, that place
magic
is
streaming device.
It's fun now. I don't want to play in that stadium in December.
Oh no,
man, we're right on the lake.
Alabama's at Vanderbilt, and this is one of those ones where I held my nose and bet the Vanderbilt Commodores this week because Alabama coming off their biggest win of the last 2 or 3 years, actually. Huge win. And now they go to Vanderbilt where they're not super interested. And I know Vanderbilt is going to try and limit the number of possessions. Vanderbilt, I like them as a big dog. I like Diego Pavia, their quarterback. I think they're able to hang around in this game. 23 points feels like a lot for a game that Alabama is likely kind of sleepwalking through. You know?
Think so?
I think so, yeah. I mean, and I also think...
Is it because DeBoer and it's not Saban? Because I don't think Saban would have him sleepwalking.
I just think any time you come off a game like that Georgia game, an emotional game like that where it's like, last-minute win, it's hard to get up for a road trip to Nashville for Vanderbilt. You know what I mean?
I agree under a lot of coaches. And I think if it was Saban, I think that they'd be up and there would be hell to pay. That he would have found enough things wrong. You were behind until the last minute and a half. You better go prove it.
But even those Saban teams would be trailing South Florida
23,
sometimes.
It seems a little, man.
All right.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I think they're about to unleash a can of whoop ass, a prove it game.
Clemson is at Florida State.
Here's the big one.
Clemson's a 14.5-point
That's
favorite.
That's not enough, man.
I don't think so either. I mean, they're going on the road, but I just think Florida State's bad. And people now think, DJ Uiagalelei has been bad. I got news for you. I don't think he's playing. He's got a broken finger. It's about to get worse.
Yeah.
Whatever you think of DJ, he's better than what's behind him.
I think this is the best money all week.
I think Clemson is going to
Klubnik. He's another Austin kid, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Utah State's at Boise. Number 21 Boise is a 27-point favorite hosting Utah State. Tennessee's at the Hogs, Arkansas. Tennessee minus 13.5.
Watch out here.
Kind of the same vibe I say for A&M. I don't love A&M from a spot standpoint. I don't love the idea that they've got to play that real physical game and then follow it up with this game. But 13.5 at home, that's a lot of points to get for Arkansas. So I'm not sure if I want to back Tennessee here.
I'd look out for Tennessee. Arkansas is a good football team.
Yeah, Tennessee's been very good, but also very untested. Michigan's at Washington. Washington a 1.5-point favorite. I like Washington here. Michigan can't throw the football. I don't trust them on the road. I don't like Washington, but I'm going to keep looking for spots to fade Michigan. USC's at Minnesota, number 11 USC. I like Minnesota catching 9 points at home. I like the idea. This is an unfamiliar road trip. USC historically has not played well in the Eastern or Central time zones. I don't think they've got a win in one of those time zones since 2012. So I'll take a stab with the Gophers.
I feel like the Minnesota will be close and then do something strange and stupid to lose.
We'll probably do that. Baylor's at Iowa State. Iowa State a 12.5-point favorite in Ames. I like this Iowa State team a lot, and I think Baylor's kind of quit. I think they've quit on their coach. I think it's about to just unravel in Baylor.
Done.
And the U, Miami, is at Cal. Cal catching 10 at home.
This is college game day. This is Heisman Trophy prop-up weekend for young Cam Ward. This is his weekend to show.
This Cal team, Cal's excited. It's the first time they've had college game day out there.
Mm-hmm.
They are excellent in the secondary. Give me Cal plus 10.
Oh, you're crazy.
All right. All right. The Horns have the week off. We'll talk more college football as we get into the daily lines. We'll do the NFL in the next hour. It's the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Jim Rome. Have a take, don't suck on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. KTFM Floresville.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to SASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
In the Bible's creation account, I'm struck by the fact that the humans God put in the garden didn't have any anxiety. One writer defines anxiety as an automatic reaction to a threat, real or imagined. The root meaning of the word anxiety means to choke or to take by the throat. One of the ways we know we are anxious is a tightening feeling in our chest. In that original garden, there was no such thing as death nor any of the lesser evils humans have encountered since that produce anxiety. So one of the essential skills humans must develop in this life is how to deal with anxiety that comes from relationships, families, marriages, health, vocation, and the unexpected, to name a few. One suggestion is to develop the ability to respond rather than react. This calls for reflection that leads to responsible action rather than reactive impulses. So take some time today to reflect on what you've learned from anxious times in the past. This is Mark Absher, the MacArthur Park Church of Christ, with a thought about anxiety. Visit our church online at macarthurchurch.org. The MacArthur Park Church of Christ, connecting God and people.
It's football season, and you know the best place to watch games is at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road, with those three massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. College, pro, the games are on at the Roo. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Paid for by Hims & Hers Health. Hims & Hers Weight Loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions at forhers.com apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded.
Everyone's talking about the breakthrough of weight loss drugs. With Hers, you can access doctor-trusted weight loss plans online, like compounded GLP-1 weekly injections with the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy, all for as low as $199 a month with a 12-month plan paid up front. Get started at forhers.com/afford today. That's forhers.com/afford.
Check it out, the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence. At Verizon, you can get it when you trade in any phone from one of their top brands.
Any?
Any.
Even if it's 4 years old?
Yeah.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk?
Yep.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk, then a scooter runs it over, so now it's not just old and cracked, but shattered?
With Verizon, the answer is always yes. New and existing customers can trade in any phone from one of our top brands in any condition for the new iPhone 16 Pro with unlimited Ultimate. Trade-in terms apply. See Verizon.com for details. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
Football season is here. Do you have your picks in on Sleeper? Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats,
and you could win up to 100 times your money. For new users, Sleeper will even match your first deposit with up to $100 credit to your account. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code MONDAY for a credit up to $100 match on your first deposit. That's code MONDAY. Must be 18 years in most states and in state where it is legal. Promo code and other restrictions apply. Visit sleeper.com. Please wager responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-426-2537 for help. Sponsored by Sleeper, a Blitz product.
If you love cowboy boots, you'll love this news. A new Tacova store is coming to 5300 Broadway in Alamo Heights. Inside, you'll find the finest handmade cowboy boots, Western apparel, and accessories for men and women. While you shop, enjoy complimentary drinks, boot shines, custom hat and boot branding, and more. Check out the Tacova's grand opening at 5300 Broadway in Alamo Heights. Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Enjoy live music and free swag for the first 50 folks in the door daily. Tacovas, don't go gently.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit progressive.com. That's progressive.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL, Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We've got a couple of new trouble spots. 35 northbound Highway 90 south side of town. That accident in the left lane already causing a 20-minute delay heavy from South Cross. On 410 eastbound San Pedro, accident that's off to the shoulder. And a new trouble spot just now reported at 1604 eastbound Kyle Seal Parkway. It's in the right lane and already a 25-minute delay. It's heavy from New Gilbo. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
In the NFL, Kirk Cousins threw for 509 yards, 4 tutties and an Oski, and a comeback 36-30 overtime win as Atlanta moves to 3-2. Thursday on the Blitz, Stephen Jones dismissed Devontae Adams' trade rumors, citing salary cap issues, stating it would be a long putt to bring in the other number one. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention some of the other Texas football that happened this weekend. Texas State bounced back last night, 38-17 smacking of Troy.
Yes, sir.
Troy stinks. It was embarrassing.
And Texas State's good.
Texas State is good. Jordan McLeod, 42-yard touchdown run, was just a stud last night. And then Sam Houston, 41-21 winners over UTEP. There's a story on, I want to say CBS, about Sam Houston and how they are thriving despite having the lowest amount of NIL and FBS. Like they're doing this with basically no money, and it's called Moneyball at Sam Houston.
Because they rely on transfers, though. They take in a lot of transfers.
But they're taking transfers that aren't looking to go get money.
They just want to play.
Yeah. And they've got some guys who are transferring down, and it's like, hey man, we know you can probably get money somewhere.
What?
But he's like, you want to play? We'll play you here. And they said the money that they do get doesn't go to transfers ever. What it goes to is the leadership of the team. The guys who are there, have been there, have proven themselves, and have proven to be part of the program that they're building. And there's still a handful of guys on this team that are left over from the FCS championship team. So that's right now that's the leadership of this team, and they're instilling that mentality of like, hey man, we got to keep fighting. We're the underdogs always. And kudos to them. They've already done more than I expected them to do.
I wonder if I hope it's sustainable. I do think that there is a market out there for the transferring junior and senior that have sat on the bench for 2 and 3 years, that are they're a little bit away from their degree. They just want to have a season of football.
Yeah.
I hope that's a marketable and transferable thing across the country, that we get that, but I'm just not sure how long you can sustain it.
They have the lowest revenue in Conference USA, $23.6 million. And some of these schools, their NIL is in the tens of thousands. Some schools obviously are in the tens of millions. Ohio State at the top of that. But here they are, 4-1. And very, very cool. Very cool the way they're built. And from, remember this is where Willie Fritz was at. And when they brought in Keeler to be the coach, he just kind of rolled with it. And he's a real culture guy. And he's loyal to them. They're loyal to him. There's in this story, it talks about how last season Sam Houston didn't feed its players a meal every day.
Well, see that,
at Texas, the kids have. I'm sure it's at A&M too. There's more food than you can eat, and everything's coded. Like if you're a kid who you're supposed to be gaining weight, you eat the red. Yeah. You eat the red things. You're supposed to be losing weight, you eat the blue things. And now they have a daily, at least one meal a day. Last year they were serving chocolate milk after the games or after workouts, like off or during the week workouts. Uh-huh. Now they've got them protein shakes, but they were just giving them chocolate milk, like little chocolate milk cartons.
Well, this is nothing to be proud of.
Well, I mean,
I know that they're like, yeah, this is where we've come from. That's shameful.
It is, but what they're saying is they're having to build up, because remember they were in FCS school 2 or 3 years ago.
But even FCS schools can afford to feed you 3 times a day. What's going on here?
I don't know, but they are. The fact that they've been working it up and are where they are right now, 4-1. Is impressive to me. It's like
they've always been a powerhouse, and I love. We talked about it yesterday. They are the recipient of dudes that just want to go play. But there is no. If I'm if I'm the SID, certainly if I'm the AD at Stephen F. or Sam Houston, I don't want this out that I'm spending the least of anybody, and I'm only feeding my team once a day. If I'm mama sending my son up to Sam Houston, what are you talking about? You're only feeding him once. I don't give a damn about the chocolate milk, but yeah, 3 squares is the minimum I would hope for.
Elsewhere in college football, Houston's at TCU tonight. Man, how the mighty have fallen in Houston. And
yeah, I am.
Willie Fritz, I still think Willie Fritz is the right hire long term, but man, he does not have the dudes he needs to run what he wants to run right now, and they are just pathetic on offense. I don't much like TCU either. I'm certainly not laying 16.5 points with TCU, but
they beat SMU. They lost.
They lost to SMU. Yeah. Elsewhere in the great state of Texas football, I guess there's not a whole, because Texas is off this week. We talked about Texas A&M, and we talked about Baylor and Iowa State. Did we miss anybody? Oh, Texas Tech's at Arizona. That's the other one. Texas Tech is a 6.5-point dog at Arizona. Arizona's good, man. I like Arizona. I think Texas Tech might be in for a hurting.
They have my favorite player in the country.
The receiver?
No, Arizona State.
This is Arizona.
I thought, but Arizona's got the what's his name? The little running back.
Arizona, their best player is that receiver, the guy who's like he's still in the Heisman conversation, and I wish I could say his name appropriately, but it's something McMillan. Teroa McMillan.
Easier said than
let's just call him Tate or Tet.
We forgot UIW. They're hosting Prairie View tomorrow.
Okay.
An evening kick down at that pretty stadium.
What's Incarnate Word's record right now?
That's a question that I'm not adequately prepared to answer.
Okay.
At this very moment, they sit at 2-2.
Okay. Hey, good luck to those guys.
Yeah.
And then UTSA, we talked to Jeff Traylor. This is their bye week. They needed it. Rough loss last week. They'll be back in action at Rice next weekend.
And that will always cure what ails you.
Well, not always.
Well, it will.
You hope so.
It better this year.
You remember when Texas State would cure what ails you, and all it did was add to the ailments this last time. The Cowboys are the Sunday night game this weekend. This is, I think, if the Cowboys win here, you can probably slow down on all the panic that the early season brought on. I didn't walk away from the Giants win feeling much better about the Cowboys than I did going into that game. I still feel like the Cowboys are they're going to underachieve this year. They're not going to be as good as I thought they could be. I was not totally impressed with that win, but a win here puts them at 3-2. And even if you look at next week and say, okay, let's assume the Lions beat the Cowboys. The Lions are better than the Cowboys right now. You get through that first stretch at 3-3. To me, that was the goal. And now you go from there and you try and win. You know, you try and get yourself in 10-11 wins.
Okay. They're going up to Pittsburgh minus 4 of their top 6 guys.
That's the problem. I don't know that they can get this win.
So I don't know what the sunny disposition, whether good, bad, or different.
But if you win.
But even minus the 4 or 6 guys, they lose to Pittsburgh. And again, you look at this is so typical of the Cowboys, where you don't have to be that good to be that good right now. The NFC East sucks.
Yeah.
Philly is a dumpster fire right now. If you can just put together a little bit, you can buy yourself some time, a little bit. Just get yourself to the bye week. But that doesn't seem to be the case, and it's not just because of the injuries. Now we're talking about the real reasons the Cowboys lose is the stupid stuff. And last week we started to see some stupid stuff that the penalties and the inadvertent just pre-snap mistakes, and then we're not seeing any kind of movement, no play action. All those little things that add up to bad Cowboys losses, they squeezed out a win from, so you hope they put it to bed. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the timing's going to be off. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball. I certainly don't think they're going to be able to stop the run. So I don't think I'm going to wake up on Monday morning going, it's as bad as it was before the New York game. Not any worse, but certainly not any better.
If they lose at Pittsburgh, that drops them to 2-3. They will be underdogs in their next 3 games.
Yes.
So that would and again, you can win as an underdog, but I mean, you could also end up 2-6. And if you're 2-6, forget it.
Yes, forget it. And, whether you have an excuse or a reason, it doesn't matter. And coming into this week, I don't want the Cowboys to go, well, we were all banged up on the road at Pittsburgh. Anybody would have lost there. That's true, but you're a team that needs every win. You don't have the leeway of a good team stubbing its toe. You can't do that.
But you're right in that and it's not just the division, it's in the NFC. It doesn't feel like anybody's going to run away with the NFC.
That you could be the optimist and go, no matter what happens, we're going to be close. Look at Philly. I mean, geez, now our biggest worry is Washington and a rookie quarterback. I mean, that's really our biggest worry about maybe a bye week if we just go ahead and win this thing.
The fact is, right now, Cowboys have the same record as the San Francisco 49ers, who are the best team in the NFC.
And you go, they are awful right now. You could get some space. If you just won a couple of games, you pick up some room for them as they turn hot later, and maybe you're playing them at home. Maybe you don't have to go to San Francisco finally, or you don't have to go to Detroit if you can just squeeze out a win against a bad Pittsburgh team. But I'm afraid we'll use injuries and Aubrey. It'll be injuries and 5 field goals.
Yeesh.
And we'll go, well, we did all we could.
I don't know. I think the Cowboys are going to score some points. My concerns are if they're going to get any stops, because I think this, again, I said this at the beginning of the show, I think the Steelers defense is a little overrated because this is by far the juiciest offense they'll have played. By far.
I would think so.
Even a banged up, even no Brandon Cooks, even no running game.
But I saw what made the Colts successful offensively, and it was a mobile, active quarterback. Now, he wasn't always running downfield.
No, remember, Anthony Richardson hardly played in that game.
But what opened the game up was him. And now Flacco stood back and threw darts.
I think if Dak can go in and just have an average game, the Cowboys will put up 21 points.
I don't think the Steelers are very good.
I've
been saying it all season long. I don't think they're very good, but the great equalizer now is they're minus 4 of their top 6 dudes.
Justin Fields in his career has never won a game where the opponent scored 20 points. Isn't that a crazy stat?
That is an awful stat to have to carry around. Literally.
Has never won a game where his opponent scored 20 points or more.
Yeah, let's hide that from the next negotiation.
Yeah, so if the Cowboys can just put up 3 touchdowns, but we'll see. I got a feeling that...
You know what? That's not a crazy thing to say. It really isn't. If I'll tell you this...
Put up 21 on the Steelers, you should win.
Yeah, I was going to say 4 touchdowns guarantees it. 3, you're in the game because I got to figure you're going to get 1 or 2 from Aubrey, rain or not. So
because I'll be honest, if you had to play a team that with your best defensive players banged up, I'd want it to be the Steelers. I mean, they'd be one of the first 5 teams I'd pick because they are not good. They're not going to use tempo. They're going to just try and grind on you. Now, you don't want to be grinded out the whole game, but you feel like your offense can score on them too. Like Pittsburgh's offense sucks. It's bad.
There's another benefit that we're really not going to peg because the Dalvin Cook conversation has continued, and we'll see if he gets pulled up. But the good news is Zeke's kind of banged up, and I think Dowdle.
Maybe you don't have to waste 7 or 8 touches on him.
Exactly, and I think Dowdle, from what little we've seen in ongoing carries, normally he's in and out in spot duty. But it appears to me he's a better runner on this 10th than his first. He's one of those kind of backs. And so if this is the kind of game where they're going to have to control the ball, at least I think they've got the right back in place to do that.
The problem with that is there's a guy who's going to be wearing black and yellow wearing number 90, and Zeke is probably your last line of defense for Dak. It'd be nice to have the better pass blocking back in there.
We talked about what they did last week. They got the ball out 14 times, 13 of 14 on passes that were out of Dak's hands in under 2.5 seconds.
That helps.
Yeah, so I expect a lot of that.
All right, let's talk about the Texans game on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I don't know what your ongoing plans for the weekend are, but they better involve standing over a hot fire looking at some fine meat. Head over to Tri-County today, they say, and I absolutely believe it. A great meal starts with meat coming from Tri-County Meat Market, and this week is no different. Head in and get yourself everything you need to up your grilling game. Minix is going to have a big old brisket on the fire all weekend long, and it looks like he's got about a 16-pounder. That's going to take hours and hours of beautiful smoke. If you're going to do that, you better head over to Tri-County right now. Get that thing on the grill so you're ready for that early kickoff tomorrow. Or maybe you're looking for something fast this evening. Go to the prepared food. Get yourself one of those house-made hot dogs. They are perfect on a night like this. And if you get their brisket burger, a little bit of brisket, a little bit of meat, a little bit of something. I've never cooked a hamburger that didn't shrink like this one. Put one on the grill tonight, and then grab your steaks in celebratory fashion tomorrow night when your team has come to victory. That's what Tri-County's got for you, everything you need. Head over today, fill a bag 5 for $30. Make sure you grab a new rub and get all the charcoal and pellets you need. That's Tri-County Meat Market over on Ralph Fair, over on Huebner. Head over there today, get some good meat on the grill, and I know you're going to thank me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we are live out at Encira Nissan. It's going to be a great day with the UTSA Roadrunners.
JT Clark, Jamal Ligon going to be out there raising money for UTSA football athletes. Plus, we will get the latest on the Dallas Cowboys. John Machota joins us at 5:15. The Blitz live at Encira Nissan on I-10 between Wurzbach and Huebner starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio, and since 1994, I've been representing people and families seriously injured by negligent drivers. Recently, we've all seen advertisements from attorneys here in San Antonio saying their firm does not get paid an attorney fee unless there's a recovery. And maybe you've heard, we don't get paid unless you get paid, or words to that effect. Well, that is what I've been doing for more than 30 years. I honestly did not know that there were attorneys in San Antonio that would represent an injured client and charge a fee if there was no recovery. You see, I practice law with basic principles, one of which is you never need an excuse to do the right thing. If you or a family member has been injured in a vehicle collision, including a commercial or business vehicle, an 18-wheeler, call me. The phone call and consultation is free. If you hire me, I will not get a fee unless there is a recovery. And this has been true for me and my firm for more than 30 years. My number, 210-900-0400, that's 210-900-0400, or check out my website, alawyerforus.com.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. They say I transformed the quarterback position. The fastest ever, the strongest arm, the most rushing yards. They call me a game changer. I say BetUS.com changed the sports betting game. It started 30 years ago with the industry's biggest bonuses, and they haven't stopped. This football season, get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Join me at BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino, BetUS, where the game begins.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The time for holiday hosting is upon us, so make your second bathroom second to none with HomeDepot.com's best savings of the season. Right now, enjoy up to 40% off select online bath. Find the latest on-trend styles of vanities, faucets, showers, tubs, toilets, and more. All at prices that will let your budget relax right along with you and your beautifully renovated bath. Get up to 40% off select online bath plus free delivery at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, see HomeDepot.com/delivery for details.
Paid for by Hims & Hers Health. Hims & Hers Weight Loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions at forhers.com apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded.
Everyone's talking about the breakthrough of weight loss drugs. With hers, you can access doctor-trusted weight loss plans online, like compounded GLP-1 weekly injections with the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy, all for as low as $199 a month with a 12-month plan paid up front. Get started at forhers.com/afford today. That's forhers.com/afford.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Texans have the Buffalo Bills coming into town. I wish I could get out there for it. I don't know if I want to see it.
A Bills loss.
It might be. Buffalo's got some injuries on defense specifically. They're banged up, man. Mm-hmm. But Houston banged up on offense. I don't know the status of Joe Mixon. I think he's key to what they've been doing. The offense has looked kind of bad without him the last couple weeks. Tank Dell's on the injury report. Don't know if he plays or not. And Laramie Tunsil went out last week with an ankle injury. But even when he's been on the field, he's a walking penalty. What is it with the Texans and the Cowboys? Like, why are the teams from Texas the most penalized teams? What is? Do we have no discipline here?
Do you want a team with no penalties?
No. What I don't want is 10 penalties through 4 games on my my extremely highly paid left tackle.
I think we don't like pre-snap penalties.
I don't like pre-snap penalties, and I don't like holding penalties.
Yeah, well, holding is in the eye of the beholder. I can coach blocking, and there are some refs that are going to say that's holding and some that aren't. So
hide it.
I get it.
If you hold, hide it.
Exactly. So be better at that. But it's the pre-snap crap that kills you. That's what loses football games. I want guys that are holding, or at least, doing all that. I don't mind every now and then a little bit of a hard hit or a wrong hit. Those are the sins of commission that tells me you're out there doing it. It's kind of like basketball guys when they walk off a game and they go, I didn't commit a single foul. Like, well, maybe you ain't trying enough. Maybe you should have. So I don't want zero, but it's the line that causes average teams to get much better when they stop the pre-snap and the third down penalties. And it's what takes highly talented team and undisciplined teams down to the mean. And that's what the Texans are dealing with right now. They're talented, but the penalties are driving them down to the mean. They get that fixed, suddenly things get a little bit easier.
The Bills have won 9 of their last 11 games. The 2 losses, Kansas City in the playoffs and Baltimore last week. The question is, are the Texans in that class? That's probably the 2 best teams in the AFC that they've lost to.
We're going to find out.
Are the Texans there? It's been an interesting battle in Vegas because the lines bounced back and forth between Bills favored by 1 and the Texans favored by 1. I'll guess that if either team gets favored by 1.5, you're going to see a lot of people tease to get to get it over 7.5 on the other side. I think the Bills can win this game. I just don't.
Boy, it'd tell me a lot if they did. It would mean a lot to, I think, as much to those that want them to be a contender. It would matter to them in the locker room too. This is something they need to prove. If they lose this, it ain't the end of the world.
No,
rolling into Houston, it's not the end. You don't look at yourself and try to figure out if I got to adjust my altitude and who I am. You just go, I lost to a good football team. But you roll in and beat Houston, and if they don't have Mixon, it's the prime opportunity. Suddenly, you've got some belief in the things that we want to do to win games. We can do now. We're doing them. And coming off a loss like this, you always got to question that just a little bit.
Yeah, I will say the Texans do a good job of defending tight ends, which is bad news for the Bills. The Bills Dalton Kincaid's important to what they do.
When I hear teams that defend tight ends well, I think that means you're making sure you're not you're keeping the team that uses the tight end out of the down and distance where they use the tight end, because most guys can't guard a linebacker. Teams that linebackers can't guard a tight end. They just can't. So you're either going to be able to shut them down or not. I think that Kincaid's going to be fine. I think he's going to catch a lot of footballs.
But you talk about a step up in class for the defense, for the Texans defense. Anthony Richardson, not a thrower. Caleb Williams in his second start ever.
Inaccurate and indecisive.
Sam Darnold, who, by the way, lit you up.
Opposite of that, yeah.
And then Trevor Lawrence, who was on his back half the time. Josh Allen is a different animal than these guys.
this is the kind of game that I think in week 5 for Buffalo means will carry you through. The Texans, I think, are just trying to survive. You know, they got a guy coming in that's going to be on fire, and they're kind of dinged up. At home, they're hoping for a crowd and a lucky break here and there, which they relied on last year to get a win. Both teams, either one that loses, it ain't over. But I think that the questions that got them through are going to continue for another week or two.
And C.J. Stroud's been good, not great.
Like we kept saying, they're up in weight class. They're playing better football teams. There's film on you.
The whole year of film. These guys aren't going to let one guy just come into the league and be, a god. Like unless you're Patrick Mahomes, it doesn't happen. It takes a while. You find your level eventually. C.J. Stroud was phenomenal his rookie year. I was certain he was not going to be better this year. It's just not the way the NFL works. The NFL adjusts to what you do well, and then you're going to have to readjust. I'm not saying that C.J. Stroud won't be great long term. I'm just saying that the league adjusts to these young guys. Jaden Daniels, I'm going to tell you now, Jaden Daniels, what we're seeing now,
it's coming.
This isn't what Jaden Daniels is going to be forever. I promise you.
Yeah, it's coming.
So for young quarterbacks, it's a roller coaster. And on the other side of that, just because Caleb Williams is meh right now, Caleb Williams might still be a player. I don't know, but usually, guys early you're never as bad or as good as you look your first few weeks of the NFL.
We will say this though: with every passing week, what I see from Caleb tells me it's going to be another longer year.
Yeah.
If we're not seeing that much more improvement this year, we're going to add another year to that of the percolation system. It's just he seems to be further and further away than where we thought we are by every week.
I think this Bills-Texans game is the best game of the week, though. Just from the standpoint of two teams that are kind of...
What time?
It's a early game. So we'll see. We'll see who's got the juice there. That Ravens-Bengals game, that might be the other one that I'd want to watch. But and of course, it's a noon game, too, which pisses me off. But what are you going to do? I guess we'll just sit around and watch 49ers
I'll
Cardinals.
Say this.
In
Texans better start
window.
fast. Start fast.
That's the key to beating the Bills.
Start fast, Houston. Get a couple of touchdowns and feel comfortable about yourselves because Buffalo's coming. They're coming for you, but get ahead. That 11 o'clock kickoff, that matters.
All right, we will take a break. When we come back, we'll look at the rest of the NFL, break down the rest of those games that don't involve the Texans or the Cowboys. Apparently, there's a lot of them. We'll do that next. It's Morning Huddle on 94.1.
I got a quick question for you. How's your lease looking? Have you had a lease work weekend? Have you gone out to get everything ready? Because hunting season's almost here, and the easiest way to take care of your lease is in a vehicle from U-Haul Kubota. They got the right utility vehicle to help you in whatever your needs are, and they can customize it with whatever you want when you want it. And when you're ready to break ground around your workplace, there's no better thing to use than a durable Kubota RTV-X. It's North America's #1 selling diesel utility vehicle. And right now they got a great deal going on financing. 0% APR for up to 36 months. You can save up to $1,000. U-Haul Kubota, they're going to be with you before, during, and after the sales. You're looking for tractors, mowers, utility vehicles, and the service to go along with it. All 11 locations are the best place to land when you're looking for the equipment they need. They take their service after the sale seriously. Let me find out for yourself. And if you're looking for rental equipment, if you got a big job, a regular job, a little job, it doesn't matter. You need it a day, a week, or a month. They're there to help. They'll deliver it to you and make sure you're ready to go. That's all the stuff going through December the 31st if you're chasing the zero down. Listen close. From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas for over 75 years, U-Haul Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to SASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
I'd like to thank the Academy for bringing me back from the dead and sharing my story with the world. I mean, I was doing Vicodin smoothies before smoothies were cool, man. Because I'm the biggest star in the world. Michael Jackson tried to do Vicodin smoothies and he died.
Yeah.
Never land my ass.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
It's football season, and you know the best place to watch games is at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road, with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. College, pro, the games are on at the Roo. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text GIVE to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text GIVE to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text GIVE to 200-300. That's GIVE to 200-300. GIVE to 200-300.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Football season is here. Do you have your picks in on Sleeper? Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats, and you could win up to 100 times your money. For new users, Sleeper will even match your first deposit with up to $100 credit to your account. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code MONDAY for a credit up to $100 match on your first deposit. That's code MONDAY. Must be 18 years in most states and in state where it is legal. Promo code and other restrictions apply. Visit sleeper.com. Please wager responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-426-2537 for help. Sponsored by Sleeper, a Blitz product.
The time for holiday hosting is upon us, so make your second bathroom second to none with HomeDepot.com's best savings of the season. Right now, enjoy up to 40% off select online bath. Find the latest on-trend styles of vanities, faucets, showers, tubs, toilets, and more. All at prices that will let your budget relax right along with you and your beautifully renovated bath. Get up to 40% off select online bath plus free delivery at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, see HomeDepot.com/delivery for details.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday morning at 11, the Aggies take on the Missouri Tigers, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game coverage begins at 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We've got a couple of new trouble spots. 35 northbound Highway 90 south side of town. That accident in the left lane already causing a 20-minute delay heavy from South Cross. On 410 eastbound San Pedro, accident that's off to the shoulder. And a new trouble spot just now reported at 1604 eastbound Kyle Seal Parkway. It's in the right lane and already a 25-minute delay. It's heavy from New Gilbo. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hey! Join the Blitz live Friday at Ancira Nissan. That's today, by the way, 2 o'clock.
Half the Blitz.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Jason's going to be doing his nerdy football, high school football play-by-play. I noticed he wasn't out there calling my nephew's 6-man football game last night. I don't know what the deal was there.
What time was kickoff?
5:30.
Well, he was busy. He'd have had to miss the first half.
This was a big game.
I don't know. I'm sure it was. It was a roadie. Y'all picked up a road win.
Yeah, he could. I mean, Joe could have handled it.
The Austin types rolling into San Antonio, taking a victory from our fine children.
Sorry, friend.
I saw a picture of your nephew. What grade is he?
He's an 8th grader. He's a big old boy.
I think that school's been recruiting. What's the NIL situation like?
He's getting no NIL.
He's getting no NIL after 4 tutties?
No.
I think he better. He needs to hire a better agent.
That's what I'm saying.
That Sluka guy's got an agent. Maybe him.
Not only getting the touchdowns, he also kicks the extra points.
Well, we got a minute. How many of you guys listening right now, and you all know, have your alerts on silent? Because for those of us who didn't have their alerts on silent, a lot of people woke up early this morning.
Yeah, mine went off. I guess it wasn't a big deal to me because we're already here working. But I'm guessing some of you normies were asleep.
Got woke up by something that happened about 8 hours from here.
Yeah.
Just in case you were wondering what was going on in Hall County this morning at 4:50.
Where is Hall County?
I don't know.
That's a made-up place.
But we need to be aware of it. And I know
is that where
it's
Arlen's at?
Maybe. I know it's a dread situation, and I'm not making light of it, but man, oh man, can we have a proximity alert maybe?
Yeah.
Kind of roll that thing in for most people at 4:50. Find out Hall County's got a blue alert.
Yeah, they'll be out at Ancira Nissan today, meet and greet with some UTSA football players. You can get some of that new UTSA merch that benefits the UTSA football players.
Yeah.
And win some tickets to the San Antonio Zoo, Fiesta Texas, Tobin Center, and your chance to see the Heisman Trophy, which will be out there. Ancira Nissan, I-10, Wurzbach, and Huebner. Also, I want to give you guys something. I want to give you tickets to the Barbacoa and Big Red Festival.
We're only a week away from a fabulous event that you will have only half of.
I will only be partaking in one half of it. I'm a barbacoa and beer guy. Or
probably a better place to be anyway.
Barbacoa and sweet tea even I'd take barbacoa and RC Cola, but not Big Red for
Shasta?
Me. What flavor? Orange?
I think
grape.
Yeah. Purple.
It's
not grape. It's purple.
I'll drink Shasta purple. So you can win a pair of tickets to the to not see it. You can go to the Barbacoa and Big Red Festival, October 12th and 13th, the Freeman Coliseum grounds and Expo Hall. Get your tickets if you don't win at barbacoabigredfestival.com. Let's go with caller number 5. You will be getting some barbacoa and some Big Red if you want it. In fact, you can have my share of Big Red as well. I'm a man of the people.
I think you need to give it one more shot.
No,
like your second beer. Like the second beer was so much better than the first.
I've had it.
It was a worthy attempt. We tried.
I've tried my best. All right, NFL, let's take a look at the rest of the league. We talked Cowboys, we talked Texans. What about the Jets and the Vikings? The Vikings and the Jets make the trek out to London.
Early morning kick for those that care about such things. Wake up early, make sure your picks, your numbers are in their appropriate places.
I think the favorites are like 13-5 in these London games. Does that play into your mindset? The Jets were favored until a week ago.
Well, because they're not the better team. What's the line now?
Vikes -2.5.
And that's appropriate. I will say this, though. This is the kind of thing that Aaron Rodgers thrives in. So, he's got some chaos working behind the scenes. He and his coach are now at each other's throat. And, it's him and his OC versus the coach versus the defense, all these other things. I expect Aaron to kind of bounce back, but they're playing a much better football team. I mean, the Vikings are just a good team that we didn't expect to be good.
I'm going to say something right now, Rob, and you might laugh at it, but I feel confident when I say it. The Vikings have a better quarterback right now.
Oh, settle down.
All right.
Settle down.
Just putting that out there. Vikings have a quarterback advantage right now.
Simmer down.
Okay. Dude, do you know who... I'll let you guess the top 5 quarterbacks in QBR through 5 weeks.
It'd be, well, from what I've seen, Kyler Murray, Jared Goff, and Darnold would be 3 of them, wouldn't they?
Kyler Murray is number 8. Jared Goff's number 24.
God, both those guys had nearly perfect games at some point.
Sam Darnold is number 3.
Baker probably up there. He's throwing a lot of touchdowns.
Baker is 11th.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the guys that aren't chunking it very often.
Number 5 is Jaden Daniels. Number 4, Brock Purdy. Number 3, Sam Darnold. Number 2, Andy Dalton. And number 1, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, guys. I tell you this, Rob, when I talk about sports betting, the toughest, the best bets are usually the ones that are the toughest to make. I bet money on the Carolina Panthers this weekend against the Chicago Bears. Panthers are +4. I don't know that Chicago's any better than Carolina as long as Andy Dalton's playing. Andy Dalton gives the Panthers something like a real-life football player, which they didn't have at quarterback before. I think the Panthers can beat the Bears.
But we know who Andy Dalton is.
Yeah. Do we? Okay, so you know who Andy Dalton is.
He's Mr. Average.
Are you certain right now Andy Dalton's not better than Caleb Williams?
No, I'm not certain. I think.
In fact, right now,
from
he
the
probably
neck up,
is.
He is. Definitely from the neck up. I trust him a lot more. But this is still a really bad Carolina team that's missing a lot of things. It wasn't just quarterback that was holding them back.
But they've run the ball better since Andy Dalton's been there.
Yeah, you might be right, but I won't agree until he wins this game.
Okay.
And then I'll go, okay, I see it. But I know who Andy Dalton is. Everybody else knows who Andy Dalton is, and he's the kind of guy that you give him some space and you give him a little bit of room and don't make him do anything too weird. Yeah, he'll be all right.
When you hear me go through these games, you're gonna hear me say I am betting on some teams that are gonna make you real uncomfortable, and it's part of the process.
Yeah, I get that it's difficult, and there's just nothing in Carolina, not just for this year, but from last year too, that says to me that they have any concept or any kind of depth to do anything, even against a bad team like Chicago.
Ravens are at the Bengals. The Ravens 2.5-point road favorites. You like the Ravens?
Man,
I like the Bengals. I think the Ravens are coming off a huge win. This is a letdown spot. The Bengals are finding themselves offensively, and they are in a must-win situation.
I'll say the only reason I agree with you has nothing to do with the last game, and it has to do with a win. It was what they allowed the Cowboys to do in the fourth quarter. Gives you enough pause with Baltimore to know that no matter how good offensively they are, there is something about that defense that when push comes to shove, they give up big plays, and that's what Cincinnati does. So I'll agree with you that Cincinnati's got a far better shot, but it ain't going to be that easy.
Bengals defense also stinks. We've got an amazing matchup between the Dolphins and the Patriots with a total of 36.5. And that's gone up a little since Tyler Huntley was announced as the starter. There was concern that Tim Boyle was going to be starting for the Dolphins. What an absolute mess, an S show at quarterback in Miami. I don't know who's going to win this. If the Dolphins lose this game, it's so funny seeing McDaniel, who I like a lot as a coach. I think he's a very good coach, but he is like, I mean, he looks like his dad beat him and he had to go to school the next day. Like he's standing out on the sideline, like he can't believe what's happening.
And I don't think
everybody's looking at him and he's like, "What do I do here?"
Because I don't think he's equipped for this. I don't think that he has enough under his belt, enough time in place to be equipped for this.
There's no way he thought after 4 weeks he would be a dog to the Patriots with Jacoby Brissett.
The numbers are awful. They're 1-6 in the playoffs under Mike McDonald since 2022. With any other quarterback other than Tua, they are 0-4 against the spread this season. Only 2 teams, they and the Texans, are like that.
The Texans have not won a game against the spread. They lost it. I mean, it's a mess.
That's a different issue, though. They're still winning. They're just not winning the right way, according to Vegas. Miami could very well be not just kind of the worst team in football, like a distant last, like far from Carolina.
Browns are at the Commanders. I'm betting on the Browns. Browns +3.
What?
Okay, just hear me out.
All right.
Before the season started, the Browns would have been favorites on the road. in this game. The Browns would have been favored at Washington.
Yes, but we would have thought we had a Deshaun Watson that was at least kind of functional.
Why? We haven't seen one in 3 years, 4 years.
Well, you said before this season. I just don't see. We go on and on about how bad Cleveland is, and Jaden is suddenly the Roy, and maybe then some. Nobody stopped them yet.
Okay, well, let's talk about that for a second. Nobody stopped him. The New York Giants didn't stop him. Shocker. The New York Giants defense is ass.
See what they did to the Cowboys?
The Bengals didn't stop him. No surprise. The Bengals defense is ass. The Cardinals didn't stop him. No surprise. Daniels looks great against these awful defenses.
Is
the
3
Browns
points?
defense is still legit. My point with this is, could the market perception of the Commanders be any higher than it is right now?
How high would the line have to go before you went, no? 4? 5?
No, the Browns are dogs. I'm getting those points.
Oh, I thought they were. Oh,
Browns are +3 against the Commanders.
Well, how low would it have to go before you ran?
Below 3.
Okay,
so three is the key number in the NFL.
So it's still a pivot. So you're still you believe, but not that much.
3 is the number in the NFL that everybody should be aiming for. That is the most key number in the NFL. You need that 3.
I'll tell you this:
if you get 3.5, it's amazing.
If at some point in the second half they're down, Deshaun's going to get benched.
I think he should.
If they're down in the second half, this will be at least for a week or so.
If he loses me this bet, he should be benched.
Well, I do believe that if they're down to the Commanders and are in a situation where it doesn't look like the offense gives a crap, he's done. He will sit. This will be the game.
All right, here's another uncomfortable bet I've made. The Jacksonville Jaguars -3 against the Colts.
Well, I get this one.
The Jags are 0-4. Yeah. They've got to win eventually.
And
you're playing against Joe Flacco,
which is going to change the
turns
cadence,
the ball over.
In the game itself. I get this one.
You got to get Jacksonville has to win this game. They have to win this game at home.
Can they stop Fred Taylor?
Colts, Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor, can they stop him?
Jonathan Taylor might not even play. He's got a high ankle sprain. And
what?
Yeah, and the Colts once the Colts go outside, oof, good luck.
Well, I think just as a matter of odds, Jacksonville's bad, but they ain't that bad.
I agree.
It's time to beat a team.
Another gross bet I've had to make: Broncos -2.5 hosting the Raiders. I'm betting on Bo Nix and I'm giving points. That's how disastrous the Raiders situation is right now. Max Crosby's not practicing.
No,
Devontae Adams not playing. The offensive line is banged up. The Raiders are back to being the dysfunctional Raiders right now. The team is turning on Antonio Pierce, and the Broncos are believing in themselves. Sean Payton has. I mean, by the way, could there be a bigger coaching mismatch?
Well, I'll give
Sean
him that.
Payton against Antonio Pierce.
But the great equalizer.
This might as well be Bill Belichick against Jeff Saturday.
It feels that way. But again, you're running Bo Nix out there.
Yep.
He got to win. I'll give him that. But
they've got 2 wins. Come on now.
I'm sorry, two wins.
Cardinals are at the Niners. Niners are 7.5-point favorites. I don't have a good feel for this. I don't know what Niners are going to show up week to week. I certainly don't want to lay a big number with a team that's missing all these guys. Although they did get Debo back. He didn't look like Debo.
And Kittle
was back. He caught a touchdown. But without McCaffrey, they're just not the same team. And Brandon Ayuk's been almost a no-show since they gave him a giant pile of money.
At some point, we're going to realize wide receivers need 5 weeks of practice. They need just to get in sync. It's just a thing now.
Packers are at the Rams. I haven't made this bet yet, but I'm hoping that there will be a 3.5 pop up, and I will bet on the Rams plus 3.5 at home. Just because they're at home and it's Matthew Stafford, and I feel like Sean McVay is not going to let himself get fully embarrassed this year, no matter what the personnel is, because historically he hasn't.
Well, the Packers got embarrassed last week.
They did.
That's I'd like to see, a bounce back.
And finally, the Giants are at the Seahawks. Seahawks are 6.5-point favorites. I like the Seahawks.
Yeah, man. I'm no longer anti-Geno. Run with the points, man.
I think that especially Malik Neighbors is concussy. I don't know if he's going to play. If he doesn't, they're screwed. And the Seahawks have enough weapons to throw at this team.
K9 is awake.
I think that they are going to blow out the G-men. So, and that's a long trip. New York out to Seattle.
Yeah, New York. This is they're swirling. They haven't gone down the tube yet, but they are starting to head south.
The fact that they ran for 1 point yards per carry against the Cowboys is alarming. Because now you're saying, okay, you can't run the ball. Well, now Daniel Jones has to beat you, and now Daniel Jones has to beat you probably without Malik Neighbors. I feel good about your chances. Yeah, throw it as many times as you want, Danny Dimes, Danny Nickels, Danny Pennies.
I'd be running Danny Dimes till I had backup in.
Oof. I would too, but they didn't do that against Cowboys.
I know. I'd be running him until he was
crazy.
hurt.
I'd run the wheels off that dude.
I would, man. He's all you got. Go win a game.
I would run the wheels off that dude. So yeah, ugly bets. Browns, Broncos.
I hope your uncomfortability pays.
I hope so,
I do.
man.
But I think they're that Cleveland thing.
And Carolina.
That's a tough one, man.
Carolina, Jacksonville. I got an ugly card. Seattle's they're my pretty princess against the Giants. Even I can't back the Giants. But you know what? That's the thing about this. If it was 7.5, I'd take the Giants.
If Andy Dalton pulls off a win.
I don't need him to win. I just need him to lose by a field goal.
I just in the grand scheme of where Bryce sits in the world.
Oh, God, he's done.
If Andy Dalton can stand back there with his statue ass and manage a win for Carolina.
Think about what you're saying. If he wins this week, that would be 2 wins for the Panthers with Andy Dalton. That's more than Bryce Young has in his entire career.
It's almost to the point where I don't want to see it happen if I'm the general manager or the coach. I don't want to see that Dalton won 2 in a row with this trash heap and my other guy couldn't.
I want to know the truth about my quarterback.
Oh, they know the truth.
As soon as possible. And the truth about Bryce Young is out there. You got to start moving on.
I fire every scout, every
all of
talent evaluator, everybody who even looked at the film. If there's fingerprints on the film, you get fired too because you were around it.
All right, you're going to hear from Coach Mike McCarthy on the other side. It's Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville. 1, 2, 3, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday night at 7:20. The Cowboys are in the Steel City taking on Pittsburgh.
I like this kind of party.
Pre-game starts at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
You asked for it, you got it. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
The Gomez Law Firm is proud to be San Antonio's trusted personal injury law firm for the past 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us. Your firm has been fighting for the people of San Antonio since 1973. That's incredible.
There are not a lot of businesses that stick around for even 50 years, let alone personal injury law firms.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then turn to the law firm that will fight for you. Visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law Fights.
Olympia Hills has renovated all 18 greens to enhance your golfing experience. Book your tee time now to experience the all-new Olympia Hills. Come and enjoy the dramatic elevation changes and a layout that has been strategically designed for your enjoyment. Rediscover one of the premier golf courses in the greater San Antonio area, complete with a top-tier golf practice facility, a full-length driving range, and a 10,000 square foot short game area. Book your tee time now at OlympiaHillsGolf.com. That's OlympiaHillsGolf.com.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, my daily fantasy game. In fact, mine and 10 million others are playing this every day because we know what we're doing. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money on your sports action. Join me and so many others playing every day. You know why? Prize Picks invented FlexPay, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. Look, you know your sports. How many yards is CeeDee Lamb going to get this week? Is Jonathan Taylor going to get 85 or more? You know what you're doing. Go make your play. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which players aren't? You know you play fantasy football. Put your knowledge to work. And remember, use the code Alamo and there's $50 in it for you. Download the app now. Use Alamo. Play with your friends. It's the best way to have fun and get yourself in the game. Remember, Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can add to big payouts. Download the app today. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Wendy's breakfast burrito has an entire breakfast in every bite. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, and sausage or bacon. So the first bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. Bacon. And the second bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. Bacon. And the third bite, you get the idea. The boss of breakfast burritos, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Hear that? It's the gentle sound of a waterfall on your hike. And if you were here, you'd take a deep breath of fresh air, if you weren't so winded. But you're not here, because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. And the bugs you wipe from your headlights are all the nature you need. So if you ride, see if you could save with Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Get an online quote in as little as 3 minutes, all from the great indoors. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards going to see your favorite team in the playoffs. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can go see your favorite team in the playoffs. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but we cannot guarantee that your favorite team will make the playoffs or even finish with a winning record. They could easily lose more than half their games and finish in the cellar because they stink badly and haven't made the playoffs in years. Savings, very possible. Playoffs, highly doubtful. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and affiliates, not available in all states. We cannot be held liable for your favorite team's terrible and frankly embarrassing performances now or ever.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. You can go farther and save on full synthetic with our oil change special. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic with an STP Extended Life oil filter for just $35.99. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Join their growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today. That's progressive.com/careers.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We've got a couple of new trouble spots. 35 northbound Highway 90 south side of town. That accident in the left lane already causing a 20-minute delay heavy from South Cross. On 410 eastbound San Pedro, accident that's off to the shoulder. And a new trouble spot just now reported at 1604 eastbound Kyle Seal Parkway. It's in the right lane and already a 25-minute delay. It's heavy from New Gilbo. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
In the NFL, Kirk Cousins threw for 509 yards, 4 tutties and an Oski, and a comeback 36-30 overtime win as Atlanta moves to 3-2. Thursday on the Blitz, Stephen Jones dismissed Devontae Adams' trade rumors, citing salary cap issues, stating it would be a long putt to bring in the other number one. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 4, baby. Randall says, hating on my Panthers. We got weapons. These guys only watch the Cowboys.
You got weapons, do you?
Listen, first of all, I just said I'm back in the Panthers. I don't only watch the Cowboys. It's not factual. I'm not a Cowboys fan. I watch the Cowboys every week. Part of my job, but I watch all these teams. But the Panthers, you shouldn't be defending the Panthers, all right? I'm praying they don't lose by more than 4, all right? I'd even take 4. I'd take a push. 24-20.
I'm just bidding you the best of luck. That's all I can offer when I saw the strings of hopefuls and uncomfortabilities that you're going for this week. Hey, man, you might be buying a steak dinner on Tuesday.
Everybody's talking about these Savannah bananas.
So banana ball's coming to San Antonio. I don't know if is that what we're talking about?
Oh, I didn't know that. I saw it on Major League Baseball or on ESPN. It's talking about 18 Major League stadiums, 3 football stadiums are on the tour this year. There are some new teams, the Party Animals, the Firefighters, and the new team is the Texas Tailgaters.
Yeah, and I'm literally reading a press release about that as we speak.
Is that who they're going to play here?
September 12th and 13th of next year.
Okay.
The Banana Ball will be here featuring the Texas Tailgaters.
So this is such a big deal now that we're talking almost a year out. The Bananas are going to be here. Like it's the Super Bowl.
I'll tell you that, we've all heard about what the Bananas do over the last couple of years. You knew that they had become a thing above and beyond this regional reason to go buy a ticket in Savannah, Georgia. When I think it was 60 Minutes did an entire thing on the Bananas and the ownership and how, things evolved into this party and how it has evolved into something that's, akin to the Harlem Globetrotters with basketball. It's an outreach. It's not a real game. It's fun. And one thing baseball's needed is that.
When the Bananas came to Vegas, my son's baseball team, they all
so did you go see it?
Little League. No. We went to L.A. and watched the Angels play instead.
So we're going to see real baseball.
Yeah. I just don't. I'm not interested. It's not for me.
Well, it's like the Harlem Globetrotters. If you're a basketball purist and you're going to a Harlem Globetrotters game, you're not going to be entertained. Yeah. But if you're going to be entertained, they've stolen a formula that works.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if I'm sure it'll sell out here.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so.
They're having 2 dates here.
Look like the 12th and 13th.
Out at the Wolf?
Yes.
All right.
As they wind down play there.
Well, yes, I don't know that I'll be in attendance, Rob. Maybe you will.
Oh, well, you never know. We might be doing a little bit of promo there. We do a little work with the missions. We sponsor the Tuesday, the $2 Tuesdays. That's us
true.
Helping the peoples.
But from what I understand, they don't need any promotion for this.
No, but that's why they need us even more.
Oh, maybe so. All right, let's. Earlier on in the show, we talked to the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, about the upcoming game with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You can hear that now. Right now, we're joined by the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys on the Buyers Barricade guest line. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Mike McCarthy joins us on the program. Coach, how are you? I'm guessing a little better this week than last week, right?
Last week? I don't think we talked.
Oh, yeah, the last time we talked, I should say. The last time we talked.
I would say, actually, I was great last week.
Yeah.
Better than most, really.
Yeah. This win over the Giants, it was a much-needed win. It came at a hell of a cost, though, Coach. Obviously, football's a game where guys get hurt every week, but, man, it just feels like the Cowboys right now have some real bad injury luck to some real key guys. And it's always going to be next man up, but how devastating is it when you lose the leaders on your team to an injury?
Yeah, definitely. I think clearly the obvious, when you talk about D-Law, Brandon and Micah, not only their playing ability, but, what those guys bring to the workplace every day too. So it's great to have those guys, I just don't like the way they're sitting in the front row with what they're dealing with. But it's unfortunate part of our game. I mean, it's at some level it happens every single year, and the timing of who and when is just part of the chess match of what you go through. But it really, our focus has been, it's the opportunity for the others, and just make sure we, as a coaching staff, we have a good plan and make sure we've got the roles and responsibilities, distributed in their best interest and our best interest to make sure we have every opportunity to go win this game.
That's head coach of your Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Yeah, looking at the successes that got you through the Giant game, the offense short game looked good. I'm looking at the numbers: 13 of 14 under 143, 2 touchdowns in the under 15. You're getting the ball out in 2.5 seconds. Is that a product of what's going to work, or is that a reaction to a concern for guys getting to your quarterback, or is it CeeDee Lamb and Ferg getting healthy? What clicked and made that so successful?
No, I think it's like anything. I mean, it's your approach really every week. So, when and how much is really the difference between every game plan, and obviously your opponent drives some of that too. So, I mean, that's why you game plan, and that's why you watch the video and the matchups that are involved, and obviously. You go back to the Giants game, they had injuries in their perimeter. They went to an exclusive, kind of a 2-shell, just trying to keep a lid on it. Was really, if you watch the way they called the game. So, our patience in the passing game was a key focus for us, and I thought Dak did a great job doing that and distributing the football.
Tyler Guyton is the rookie left tackle. He's been kind of thrown into the fire, seen some of the best guys in the league through 5 weeks, and it doesn't get any easier this week with TJ Watt. How do you prepare a young guy to see maybe the best defensive football player in the world?
No, I agree with you on his path. I mean, this is exactly what he needs. And most important thing for Tyler is to make sure he just practices every day, gets his reps in, and stays the course. Because if there's ever important time to be available, this is the time, because these are experiences that you can't buy, and he has to go through this to be the player that he's going to be. So that part of it on a personal level for him is awesome. But for us, same deal. It's kind of to the question about the passing game. We got to make sure we're giving him the tools and the opportunities to be successful. And we understand that when they look at our film and then they go into their meetings on Monday, they see 2 rookie offensive linemen and the potential challenges that they're going to put on them. And I think clearly, if you go back to week 1, we're seeing more line movement than we have seen in the past, and that's probably a product of our youth up there, with the 2 young starters. So we just got to continue to work it, which we do, and him specifically will continue to get better. I have great confidence in that, and most important thing is for those 5 guys to be working every day together and playing every Sunday together, because that's your best offensive lines. Just look at consecutive starts. I mean,
right.
That's how you get it going, and so far so good. If we can just keep those guys, all healthy and keep working, we'll be where we want to be.
Looking at last week's game, Fields threw the ball 34 times. That didn't seem like a Pittsburgh offense that would be repeated. What did you see from them, and what do you expect from them?
No, I agree with it. But if you look at their overall numbers, I mean, they want to run the ball and play great defense. It's been a formula, back there for the last 40 years, or 50 years. But it's important to just be in touch with that. Also, we got the potential for weather out there. So I mean, those are all things that go into it. But it always starts with the run. So we have to stop the run and and get off the field on 3rd down. And really 3rd down is really big for both sides of the ball. One of the things that we need to be better on is the penalties. Our penalties in 3rd down and red zone have really factored in time of possession and all those things, the opportunities. So those are the things we're working on to clean up and just stay focused on, and it'll definitely be part of this contest Sunday night, because you look at all the numbers, ideally they like to keep the series opportunities low for both sides of the ball and play to their defense. So it's important for us to max out every opportunity we have that football, and obviously us stopping the run and getting off the field on 3rd down will enhance that.
Well, let's talk about stopping the run, because through 3 weeks, that was kind of the big knock on your defense, was that you guys were getting gashed. What changed against the Giants? You guys 1.1 yards per carry allowed against the Giants, only 26 rushing yards. Was that something that you guys really focused on and changed, or is that just Derrick Henry and Alvin Kamara weren't on the other team this week?
Well, I think just like anything, it really starts in the run blocking unit, and it starts with the run defensive unit. So we obviously had a much better week of preparation, coming off the performance that we had prior to that. So yeah, definitely there's a bright light on our run defense, and we need to continue to be disciplined and the block destruction, and we need to tackle better. So and that's something that we've done extra work on this week.
You guys have seen some running quarterbacks already, Lamar, and then actually did a good job with Daniel Jones last week. Does that help prepare you for a guy like Justin Fields, who has that element to his game?
Yeah, definitely. I think just like anything, when you play those type of dynamic players, and particularly how you handle that, and with the vision and the different calls. But obviously it's the stress points that they have around it too. Is that's part of that equation. So, but yeah, definitely, I think all those experiences carry forward.
Homecoming, Coach, you going to stop by Primanti's or go to Max's or Kelly's while you're in town?
No, I don't really have time for that. But yeah, I'm definitely going to get to spend some time with the family. I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody.
That is head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Coach, best of luck to you this weekend, and one more after this, and we can take a week off and maybe lick some wounds before we get into the second half of the season. Get your team healthy. Appreciate the time as always, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck, Coach.
There you go. Mike McCarthy, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. And, of course, all guests appear via the Buyers Barricade guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one and has some fun with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
Now, you don't got a contract. You got nothing to lose. Is a 70-yard field goal in the offing soon? Will we see that this year?
Depends on the win this week.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you love cowboy boots, you'll love this news. A new Tacova store is coming to 5300 Broadway in Alamo Heights. Inside, you'll find the finest handmade cowboy boots, Western apparel, and accessories for men and women. While you shop, enjoy complimentary drinks, boot shines, custom hat and boot branding, and more. Check out the Tacova's grand opening at 5300 Broadway in Alamo Heights. Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Enjoy live music and free swag for the first 50 folks in the door daily. Tacovas, don't go gently.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back. I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
I'm Nicole Chrysler, healthcare provider at Revive Men's Health. If you are always feeling tired or moody, have a difficult time sleeping, or decreased libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health San Antonio at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards going to see your favorite team in the playoffs. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can go see your favorite team in the playoffs. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but we cannot guarantee that your favorite team will make the playoffs or even finish with a winning record. They could easily lose more than half their games and finish in the cellar because they stink badly and haven't made the playoffs in years. Savings? Very possible. Playoffs? Highly doubtful. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates, not available in all states. We cannot be held liable for your favorite team's terrible and frankly embarrassing performances now or ever.
When you are just craving something salty and packs a crunch, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds is your crunch time decision. Game day just got a whole lot crunchier thanks to the powerhouse snack, Southern Recipe pork rinds. We're talking about crispy, golden bites of pure awesomeness. Pork rinds are your MVP snack. And get this, they're low carb and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe pork rinds at H-E-B today.
This Sunday, come cheer on the Cowboys at Twin Peaks Westover Hills. We'll be giving away an epic Cowboys jersey just for catching the game at Twin Peaks on game day. Ask your Twin Peaks server for more. So come and hang out with us and the lovely ladies at Twin Peaks this Sunday, starting at 5. Grab the best seat in the house and a frosty 29-degree beer. And be sure to catch the Cowboys dominating the Steelers. Again, that's this Sunday, starting at 5 at the Twin Peaks Westover Hills location at 151 and Loop 410.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday morning at 11, the Aggies take on the Missouri Tigers, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game coverage begins at 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
That was head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Always good to talk to the coach. He was a little less salty than he was.
He's about to get on a plane and go home.
Yeah.
We didn't pick on his offensive line.
Well, yeah, you didn't have any bad stuff to say.
We could have talked about the number of holding calls and the pressures given up by his two tackles.
Yeah, but would that be good to talk about when they won? They won the game?
No, I think that
you always say it's all about just winning, right?
And it was, and I thought we saw, much to his protestations, the truth that his line isn't very good, and they've adjusted the offense accordingly. The ball is leaving Dag's hands in 2 seconds. He's taken 2 steps, and the ball is gone, knowing full well they can't stop him, and they can't run the ball. There's not even any there's not even any time to play action. The ball is gone.
Well, hopefully, I don't know. I think maybe I'm just being, maybe I'm overestimating what they've done so far on the schedule, but it feels like the Steelers' defense is overrated, and could maybe be,
I would like to
maybe be exposed a little bit. I don't know. We'll see.
But Mozzie's going to have to stop the run, and they got to keep the ball in the Cowboys' hands, and maybe they'll get an opportunity to get downfield.
You know what? They did a good job. They did a good job last time. Maybe they could do, if they can slow down. And the Steelers aren't a good running team. They run. They're not a good running team.
You take a measure of a coach, and do you qualify a road win against an evenly matched team as a better win than a home win against a team that is better than you?
Well, give me an example. What are you talking about here?
The Cowboys losing to Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
As time has progressed, Baltimore was a very good football team.
Sure.
And as we go further down the season, it won't feel as bad knowing that you lost to Baltimore.
Yeah.
Going up to Pittsburgh and beating a team is on the road and maybe not doing it as pretty might not be as bad or as good as we think, and the loss to Baltimore might not be as bad as we think.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
So how do you take the measure of the coach behind it? Do you give him more credit for the road close or the home loss against a very good team and the comeback? I mean, we're starting to evaluate.
I give the Cowboys no credit for that Ravens game.
Okay.
There's no. I didn't take any positives from
nothing
it.
out of that fourth quarter that seemed to springboard them into New York.
No,
okay.
I gave them nothing for that. So, and maybe I'm being unfair.
Well, I'm looking at McCarthy like I would assume Jerry and Steven are, because now every game is an interview. I mean, we're talking about your future here. So when I'm taking the measure of my coach, what is the better thing that he can do? I mean, is it go on the road and win close or maybe even lose, But knowing that, the games that we lost early to were teams that were surprisingly good. Man, we didn't think they were that good, so maybe we were better off than we thought.
We're talking too many sports now, Rob. This is the segment where we don't talk about sports, remember? Come on.
Time's gotten away from us today.
It has. We're running out of it, too. You want to feel really old?
I'm about to go to ACL. I'm going to feel old all weekend long.
Eminem is going to be a grandfather. Remember when Eminem first came out and he had like a baby?
You made me feel old.
Eminem announced that his daughter, Haley Jade, that he rapped about all those times, is going to be a mommy. There's a recent home video clip where she hands him a jersey with the name Grandpa on the back with the number 1 and hands him his ultrasound photos. So mom and dad, Eminem is 51 years old and going to be a grandpa.
Good for him.
Yeah, that makes me feel ancient.
Now that Snoop's everybody's grandpa, Eminem's just going to be like just rather Grandpa Mathers.
The fact that he's 51 also makes me feel really old. Garth Brooks is accused of sexually assaulting a hair and makeup artist that worked for him, and he tried really hard for no one to find out about it. A Jane Rowe says she worked as a hairstylist. I guess she's afraid of all the Garth Brooks fans coming after her.
I have a feeling that's a pseudonym.
I don't think that's her real name. She worked as a hairstyle and makeup artist for Garth, and says that she was once raped by Brooks during a work trip in 2019.
Oh, this is recent.
And it says
Chris Gaines.
Was not Chris Gaines.
Dang it.
For the last 2 months, I've been hassled to no ends with threats, lies, and tragic tales of what my future would be if I did not write a check for many millions of dollars, said Brooks. Hush money, no matter how much or how little, is still hush money. In my mind, that means I'm admitting to behavior I am incapable of, ugly acts no human should ever do to another. We filed suit against this person nearly a month ago to speak out against extortion and defamation of character. We filed it anonymously for the sake of families on both sides. But Rowe began handling the hair and makeup services for Brooks in 2017, which states that her suit states she was first hired to do the hair and makeup for his wife, Trisha Yearwood, in 1999. In addition to the sexual assault and battery, the suit accuses Brooks of repeatedly exposing his genitals and buttocks, talking about sex and sharing sexual fantasies, regularly changing his clothing in front of her, and sending sexually explicit text messages. In her filing, she claims that one incident, she was at Brooks's home for work. He walked out of the shower naked, grabbed her hands, and forced them onto his genitals while speaking to her with sexually explicit and vulgar language.
Was Trisha home?
I would guess not. And then in another incident, the suit alleges that he raped her in a hotel room during a work trip to L.A. where Brooks was taping a Grammy tribute performance. They had traveled there on Garth's private jet. So
I'll leave that to the courts to decide.
I
don't know. It sounds rather damning, but that's just one side of the story.
It's he said, she said, of course, but that's not ideal for Garth.
That
ruins his image.
I imagine Miss Trisha Yearwood isn't happy about this either.
Pleased. A 24-year-old man is accused of attempting to sexually assault a woman who was recovering from a stroke.
Yikes.
He was high on crack, though, so we got to kind of give him a break, right?
Is that going to be Garth's excuse?
It could be.
It's high on crack.
I got high on
I
crack.
was going to have my own personal freak off.
Walked into a 47-year-old stroke victim's room, got naked, and attempted to sexually assault her before she woke up and found him on top of her. At least that kind of snapped her out of things.
Good God. Okay. And this happened in a hospital?
At a hospital. The woman said she woke up, saw Pierce trying to put a sheet over her head. When she asked what he was doing, he got aggressive and climbed on top of her and told her to remain quiet. I don't know about you guys. I would keep guys that are in the hospital for crack overdoses away from the people who are there from like having a stroke.
Or at the very least, just chained to their bed.
Maybe
just a little cuff
you know what?
to the
I'm
bed.
going to go a separate wing. Separate wing for crackheads. Just crackheads need help too, but.
So just a Roman crackhead? Did he dress like a nurse? Or
He was dressed in his hospital gown.
That's going to cost a few pennies.
We talked the other day about how generally at the airport, they're not looking for drugs in your bags. That's not what they're there for, really. But
I beg to differ, but I'm paranoid.
If they come across them, it's not good. A 23-year-old New Jersey woman tried to smuggle 25 pounds of marijuana in Christmas wrapping paper on a Spirit Airlines flight last week to the U.S. Virgin Islands. Here's another pro tip. Christmas present.
25 pounds.
Yes. A K-9 signaled to Customs and Border Protection agents that a checked bag contained drugs when the flight from Fort Lauderdale landed in St. Croix on September 27th in the Virgin Islands, which I know the Virgin Islands are technically the U.S., but you still have to go. It's still an international flight.
Yeah, it's a protectorate. You go through customs just as if, yeah.
Again, you're going to be treated different if you're flying from San Antonio to Houston, San Antonio to California, than you are flying out of the country. Don't be dumb.
Yeah, even the most indifferent security type, 25 pounds is well over the line.
Yeah.
We're not really looking.
We can't let this slide.
You're lugging 25 pounds of weed. We're going to have to talk.
But also,
and why normally the weed comes this
That's
direction.
what I would think. But why Christmas paper? It's October. Of course you got caught. I would have said, "Hey man, this is suspicious."
Just a tad.
You should have baked it into Halloween cookies. That would have been the safer play.
Almost feels like a diversion from something bigger. Who seriously? You just put 25 pounds of weed in your suitcase and flew to the Virgin Islands?
I want to know where he got 25 pounds of weed from, or she got 25 pounds of weed. I want 25 pounds of weed. I don't know what I'd do with it, but I wouldn't wrap it up for Christmas presents. And finally, in Fresno, an 11-year-old decided they were going to try to drive. The Fresno Police Department called a boy's mom to pick him up on Thursday after he took her SUV without permission and got into an accident. Police say the 11-year-old driver of the Ford Expedition told them a box truck hit him and took off. Nobody was hurt in the incident. Police are still searching for any evidence that the boy's story was actually true. A passerby spotted the crash, checked on the young boy, called his father. Police and family arrived at the same time. The parents had already been out searching. They say he's not going to be charged. I don't know. I'm guessing that he was probably at fault, but it does seem odd that somebody hit this car and then drove off.
Well, you look over and see a kid in the car. I'm getting the hell out of here. I don't know what.
I feel like that's the wrong way to approach it.
I think that everything was wrong in this situation.
Because I would have just said, "Oh, well, I'm certainly not going to be at fault here. He doesn't even have a license."
Well, I hit him,
and he might be drunk.
Well, it might be, but I'm the one at fault, evidently.
No way. I'd say he pulled down in front of me. He's 11. You going to believe me or him? Come on. You're thinking about this for way too long. All right. Let's take our last break of the day. When we come back, we'll wrap up the week how we always do with the Daily Lines. Let's see where the money's going out in Vegas. Right now, I'm going to tell you about SA Card House. Guys, this place is awesome. I've played there a few times in the last week and just having a great time. Great people, great environment. It's a 281 in Bitters, and quite honestly, great games. There's some solid poker players there. There's enough people that you can make money off of as well. That's always nice. And the food at Foster's Bar and Grill, top notch. I'm not talking about bar food. I'm talking about legit food. And right now, this weekend, big time to get in there. Through the 6th, that's today through the 6th, they're running a $50K guaranteed tournament. $125 buy-in, unlimited re-entries, and an optional $100 add-on if you want that. And 10% of the field's going to advance to day 2, which is Sunday. So you've got between now and Saturday, there's 5 flights, 2 today, 3 on Saturday. That's 5 for the math experts. And then Sunday is the finals, and you can get yourself a chunk of that $50K guaranteed at SA Card House. Check them out on the socials and online at sacardhouse.com, and I'll see you on the tables.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we are live out at Encira Nissan. It's going to be a great day with the UTSA Roadrunners.
JT Clark, Jamal Ligon going to be out there raising money for UTSA football athletes. Plus, we will get the latest on the Dallas Cowboys. John Machota joins us at 5:15. The Blitz live at Encira Nissan on I-10 between Wurzbach and Heebner starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
I just said, well, that's fine. I'm not paying. So I said, here's what I'll do. I'm very angry, and I should just say I'm not paying anything, but I'm going to pay half of this. And you're going to get the other half for being a liar.
And a little math refresher, Gigi. What is
Shut up.
100% of 0?
Thank you. Thank you for my math lesson of the day. Oh, that's good.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Time is of the essence with COVID-19. Prescription oral treatment must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Learn more at treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Train heating and cooling systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated. Forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine.
Not fun.
Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a Colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
The best mornings start with Wrangler. Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
The time for holiday hosting is upon us, so make your second bathroom second to none with HomeDepot.com's best savings of the season. Right now, enjoy up to 40% off select online bath. Find the latest on-trend styles of vanities, faucets, showers, tubs, toilets, and more. All at prices that will let your budget relax right along with you and your beautifully renovated bath. Get up to 40% off select online bath plus free delivery at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, see HomeDepot.com/delivery for details.
It's the Ancira Nissan End of Summer Sales Event at Ancira Nissan on I-10 West. Lease this 2024 Rogue SV for just $246 per month for 36 months. Or buy this 24 Leaf SV and take $10,000 off MSRP. Come on by or check us out at AnciraNissanSA.com. The End of Summer Sales Event at Ancira Nissan on IH-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Join their growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today. That's progressive.com/careers.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We've got a couple of new trouble spots. 35 northbound Highway 90 south side of town. That accident in the left lane already causing a 20-minute delay heavy from South Cross. On 410 eastbound San Pedro, accident that's off to the shoulder. And a new trouble spot just now reported at 1604 eastbound Kyle Seal Parkway. It's in the right lane and already a 25-minute delay. It's heavy from New Gilbo. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
The NFL is on. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
How about this? I'll give one to the Brigade Bar. I'll make it easy on them. You want to see a pair? You want to win a pair of tickets to see Jeff Tate, Operation Mind Crime, the final chapter live at the Aztec Theater, March 29th, 2025. Tickets go on sale at livenation.com in about 22 minutes, but I'm going to give somebody a pair of tickets right now. And all you got to do is be the first person to type on the bar the name of the band that Jeff Tate and Operation Mind Crime are famous for.
I know this one.
Yeah. And if you listened, I don't know, a couple days ago, we talked about it for a few minutes. But there you go. First person to get that in the Brigade Bar, you will go see Jeff Tate live at the Aztec Theater. And, of course, if you don't win, tickets are on sale at livenation.com in about now 21 minutes. Well, Robert, we've reached the weekend, my friend.
We are nearly there.
And it's time for us to take a look at the daily lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You covered, yeah!
Daily Lines brought to you by SA Card House, San Antonio's premier card house, located there at 281 and Bitters. Well, let's start where we should always start, with Ladies Basketball League. The Aces and the Liberty. Libbity-bibbity. The Aces are now 0-6 against the Liberty this year. 0-6.
Backs against the wall. It's do or die.
But guess what? I got the Liberty, or I got the Aces. I bet the Aces at 2.5. It only went up to 3. We recommended you get it in early. Mm-hmm. And I'll always say, I mean, 2.5 and 3, it's a nice number to have in your pocket for sure. But I thought it was actually going to go out even further. But I can't imagine the Aces go out like a bunch of chumps.
I'll tell you, I watched a little bit of post-game pressers, and Becky's frustrated.
Hell yeah. Her team's playing like garbage against the hated Libbity Bibbity.
A team they've owned.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this will be a good game tonight.
In the other game, the Connecticut Sun are 2.5-point favorites against the Minnesota Lynx.
You
like the Lynx, don't you?
I'll tell you what, the Lynx got a couple of players that I was surprised how good they are, but they're not as good as the Sun. I don't know, but they can get it on the road.
We shall see. Quick look around the NFL. The Vikings are 2.5-point favorites in London against the Jets. The Browns plus 3.5 now. I like 3.5. At Washington, Baltimore minus 2.5 at Cincinnati. The Bills and the Texans, you can find a 1 whichever way you want to find. You can either find Bills +1 or Texans +1, depending on your book. Carolina's +4 at Chicago. The Colts +2.5 at the Jags. Dolphins +1 at the Patriots. Cardinals +7.5 in San Francisco. The Broncos 2.5-point home favorites against the Raiders. The Giants +6.5 at Seattle. And Green Bay -3 at the Rams. Cowboys. How about them Cowboys catching 2.5 points at the Steelers? Looks like it actually might get to 3. So
he said Coach McCarthy on earlier said weather might play
rain, a little rain.
Rain.
It doesn't look like it's much. I think he might be overcompensating for something. Like, okay, weather's bad. You want to be a run team, right?
You'd like to think.
Well, we couldn't get our passing offense going because, the weather, inclement weather. There are a few football games tonight. Jacksonville State is at Kennesaw State. Jacksonville State -16.5. Kennesaw State is absolutely dreadful, guys. This is one of those times where, so in 4 games this season, Kennesaw has scored 1 touchdown in the first half of those games.
Was that against UTSA?
I think it was. I'm going to go Jacksonville State -9.5 in the first half. I think they get out early on them. Houston's at TCU. TCU is 16.5-point favorite.
They're going to run away from Houston.
I like the under in this game, 51. Houston just turns everything into a grind. So I like under 51 there. Michigan State's at Oregon. Talk about running away. I think Oregon might put the hammer on Michigan State. Michigan State looked like they were doing all right, and then they played Ohio State, and now they got to follow that up with a trip to Oregon. No thanks. And then UNLV is hosting Syracuse. Nice getting a power conference team out there in the desert, and they are 6.5-point favorites with a lot on the line. UNLV kind of they can kind of control their destiny on if they're going to be in the playoff or not, because the other team that's really their competition is Boise State, and they'll play each other. So if UNLV can get this win, they're a Mountain West championship away from potentially or probably being the playoff representative.
And we've been telling you all season, watch this team play. The offense they're running is the next wave in pro football, in college football. This go-go offense that takes even more of the passing game away from it, and a lot more RPO action, a lot more moving of a quarterback. This is the future of football. You can feel it.
Taking a look at some of the other games this weekend. Missouri's at A&M. Missouri +2.5. Rob, your final prediction?
I think Missouri wins this football game.
Do you?
Just it's a home game. They're a deeper team. They've got a better quarterback, and they're playing for more. I think A&M is going to fight hard, but it's just not going to happen.
All right. So you like Mizzou +2.5?
The one bet I would make, play the under.
Under 48.
Yeah.
Navy is at Air Force. Navy -10 on the road. Total in this game is 37. And everyone said under on service academies. This ain't your grandpa's Navy team. Mm-hmm. They are chucking the ball around, and Air Force is so bad defensively. I think Navy is going to look to humiliate Air Force. I really think they got a chance to run it up on them here. I think they will do just
Commanders
that.
Cup in play.
Army's at Tulsa. Army a 12.5-point favorite at Tulsa.
Wow.
Army has not trailed in a game this season. How about that? Purdue is at Wisconsin. Scotty, their starting running back, I guess, is stepping away from the team to deal with some injuries, which normally you would just say, well, our running back's hurt. I don't know why he's got to step away from the team to deal with his injuries. That feels odd, unless you're trying to get some sort of waiver to get him another year.
And well, if you're close and they say you're active, they put you in, you lose your shirt. So maybe he goes away and doesn't lose his red shirt.
Mac Brown's North Carolina Tar Heels. They are 3-point home dogs against Pittsburgh. They've had a lot of issues this year. I don't know that Pitt should be a 3-point road favorite, though.
Did you see
in North Carolina
what James Madison did to them? This is Mac coaching out the string, man.
James Madison's doing that to everybody.
I know, but you lose an FCS school like that at home and give up 70, you're not going to be favored at anything for the rest of the year.
Boston College, a 1-point dog at Virginia. Virginia, sir. Wake Forest +4 at NC State. Tulane -17.5 at UAB. Good old Trent Dilfer, now a 17.5-point dog. God, I don't trust Tulane to cover this big number, but
They are.
They probably will.
They will.
And it couldn't happen to a better guy, Trent Dilfer.
I watched. The UAB is awful.
Oh, they're bad.
I mean, it's not a good football team.
Ohio State, an 18-point favorite against Iowa. Georgia, 22.5-point favorite against the Auburn Tigers, War Eagle. You like Georgia here to
Auburn's going to offer their
salty Georgia team?
And Auburn's going to offer a little bit. I mean, it's still an SEC battle, but 22 seems skinny. I think Georgia's going to exercise some demons.
Dude, Auburn blowing that game to Oklahoma last week, I got to imagine they are not pleased right now.
They're not deep. They've got a long way to go to be competitive. But the one thing they do have is a little bit of SEC, a little bit of home cooking, and a coach that's a kind of a wizard at eye candy. So as long as the trickeration works, they'll be in it. But Georgia's just going to beat them into submission.
Ole Miss, an 8-point favorite at South Carolina. Indiana, minus 13.5 at Northwestern. Here's one I kind of like. UConn, minus 17.5 against Temple. Temple is awful. But I don't think they found out how bad they are, and UConn is running up the score on some teams.
You don't like the only 8 with Ole Miss and South Carolina? That seems awfully skinny for a team that's going to try to score 60.
Dude, this is they tried to score 60 last week and couldn't do anything. No, so the reason why I told you before, I was hoping to get double digits in this game because from a spot standpoint, this is a nightmare game. They're at LSU and then Oklahoma. So their next 2 games are LSU and Oklahoma. This is a look ahead game. This is a look past these guys. But now that they lost to Kentucky, I don't think that you quite get that look past spot anymore.
I can get Mississippi win by 13-18 plus 475. That's kind of landed where I think it's going to be.
All right. I mean, I don't hate that number, actually. That's pretty good value. Plus 475. I like that better than just taking the minus 8.
I feel better about my risk.
Yeah, I feel better about that than the minus 8. Who else do we got? Virginia Tech's at Stanford. Virginia Tech coming off a heartbreaking loss. Now they got to go out to the West Coast.
Man, it'll be a testament to this football team if they can rally around and play a decent football game because they had their heart ripped out in front of everybody.
And that was the first time all year they've looked even decent. They fought their asses off. I could never back them this week. I have to. I mean, there's no way I could back them after that. But I also don't want Stanford either. But Virginia Tech, an 8-point favorite on the road on the West Coast? No thanks.
Game day's going to be up there.
They are. They're going to be at Cal. And Cal, and Rob's already laughed me out of the building. I'm taking Cal plus 10.5 against Miami. Think that it's a top 10 secondary in the country.
They're going to have to be. They're going to have to be.
They've intercepted more passes than anybody in the country.
Who have they played?
They've played a couple decent teams.
I honestly don't know. But I feel like they're going to Cal for the first time, not because Cal's never hosted it, because they feel like Cam Ward is going to offer enough of a show as soon as they lead into the game to make it worth their while. This is all about Ward and a Heisman Trophy-worthy performance that it is Cal finally hosting their first game day.
Cal's played Auburn, San Diego State, and Florida State so far.
Not bad.
They're hanging in there. You might be right. But, I don't know. I think I like being the West Coast team and making teams travel all the way out there.
All of that is very true, but it's Cal.
I know. Like I said, the toughest bets, the hardest one, are the ones that feel gross. I'm going to bet Florida against UCF. Florida plus 2.5. Florida sucks, right? Dude, they got to have some fight, and this is their chance against a non-SEC team.
You're talking about a Big 12 team there in UCF.
Give me Florida at home. Georgia Tech minus 9.5 against Duke. I think they wreck Duke. And I told you I'm going to back Minnesota against USC. Minnesota catching 9 points at home against USC. This feels like one of those spots for the Trojans where this is kind of and I think we're going to look at this a lot this year. We're going to look at these teams that are doing unusual travel and like are not used to the schedule that they're on. So think about this. USC was at Michigan, flew all the way back to USC to play Wisconsin. Now they're going all the way back out east at Minnesota. They lost that game at Michigan. And like I said, USC has not won a game in the Central or Eastern time zone in 13 years. That's a long-ass time.
It's going to change tonight.
It probably will change.
This weekend.
I just need him to win by a touchdown. That's all.
I think you're safe.
Win by if they win by less than 9, I'm a happy man. I'm a happy man. And the UFC is going on this weekend. UFC 307, 2 title fights. Alex Pereira puts his title on the line against Khalil Roundtree Jr. The line is lopsided, minus 455 for the champion.
Does Alex become king of all things UFC if he wins
He
this?
really has. And you know what he is? He is the rare UFC star that seems to be kind of universally beloved by fans. Yeah. Like Conor McGregor, for as many that love him, there's that many that hate him. Sean O'Malley, John Jones, all these guys, there's detractors. I think everybody kind of loves Alex Pereira, and he's fun to watch. He doesn't put on boring fights. He's a funny guy. I'm in on him. I actually like if I'm making a bet on this fight, though, I like the over 1.5 rounds. It's a 5-round fight. It's at elevation, and Alex Pereira is fighting a guy in Khalil Roundtree who is going to strike with him. He's not going to try and take him down. Khalil Roundtree, 15 UFC fights, 0 takedowns. So that's usually the way to beat Pereira is to take him down. He ain't doing that. So I think he's going to lose, but I think he lasts 7.5 minutes. I'll take that. I think Roundtree's very dangerous. Pereira knows it, and Pereira's been hurt in fights. He's been touched. So I think that could that I like that over. And then Raquel Pennington minus 150 against Juliana Pena. Juliana Pena hasn't fought in 2 years.
Okay.
And she's walking right into a title fight. Raquel Pennington's been more active. Give me Pennington to retain the title against Juliana Pena. All right, Rob.
Off we sit. Okay. We're gonna have a split on Monday.
A split
between the Texans and the Cowboys.
Oh,
split. I don't think we're gonna have a happy Monday.
What do you? So you're saying Cowboys lose, Texans win?
I think the Texans are gonna win, and I think it's gonna be a hard fought game where both of them walk away going, "What if?" And
I think it's a double disappointment for Texans and Cowboys.
I think the Cowboys, this is just a big bite of apple against if there was some other teams that weren't quite as tough, that weren't going to just go in with the intent, we're just going to win the football game. We don't know how yet, but we're going to hold on to the ball for 45 minutes and
so you're prepping to be super sad on Monday. Cowboys and Aggies lose?
I think both are going to go down this
week.
In a valiant effort, but I don't think it's going to be successful.
All right, friends, remember to go see the Blitz out at Ancira Nissan today. They'll be there from starting at 2 with the new UTSA swag that's benefiting the UTSA football players. We'll be back on Monday. Talk to you then.
On your ride to work.